We're off to a great start. We're doing great. We need an intro. Hey, what's up, gamers?
I'm trying to remember like what month we started.
February, I think.
That's what I was thinking was thereabouts. So that would make it over a year and a half.
Yeah, I think we started right after my birthday, which is the beginning of January. So David. David. Are you muted, David? Are you? Are you muted to the stream, David? Are you muted?
See. Hi, everybody. How are you?
Oh.
Yeah, this is wonderful. This is great. So thanks for that. No, yeah, what I've been saying this entire time is that I'm really good at doing this kind of stuff. And as you can obviously tell, I'm really good at doing this stuff. But in any case, what we're just talking about is that we are open for 2 more additions to the stream. The story's at a really cool spot where the prophecy is coming to an end. But that is not the end of the story for these characters who've had massive impacts and consequences for the story and lore as a whole. And so I'm just excited for it because that means that, you know, we can introduce 2 new characters at level 12 to be able to really drive the story forward at epic levels. And it's just something that you don't see a lot. So if you have been chomping at the bit to join a higher level campaign and you have more experience at streaming than I do, which is probably a 12-year-old playing Fortnite at this point, then send me an email, david@polyhedra.io, or the thing that I was trying to look up while you guys very kindly pointed out that I was muted to the stream, which, gosh dang it. Let me put that into the chat. Where is it? There it is. So if you guys want to fill out that form, I'll get a hold of you and we can chat about you potentially joining one of our campaigns. Well, specifically this campaign, not just this specific one. So check out the rest of the game tonight, see if you like it. I'm gonna stop talking outside of a DM perspective tonight because I think I'm just nailing it. And that's it for me though. Do you guys have anything that you wanted to call out for the general nerdiverse? Things that you found, cool DMs, guild finds, anything like that? Oh, there is actually something. I know Alex and I are huge fans of Wrath of the Righteous, which is an Owlcat game, an adaptation of a Pathfinder 1st edition game, CRPG, and it's so good. It's currently as a part of a Humble Bundle CRPG bundle, so if you don't know what that is, go to humblebundle.com, and it's really cool. For like $18, you can have the original Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gates, Neverwinter Nights, and that one. This message not brought to you by Humble Bundle. I just love all of those games. I've played them all at one point and they're phenomenal. Cannot recommend them enough. Anyway, that's pretty much it as far as shoutouts go. Hearing nothing else, I'm excited. Let's dive into it. Welcome back for another session of Light of Thylea. Now, previously on Light of Thylea, and the reason that we have a little bit of creepy music in the background, there were some big revelations. Last session, as the group had returned back to Mitros, you guys carrying an absurd amount of coin with you that I'm probably going to regret giving you at a later point, ended up doing some shopping, some light figuring out that, you know, I don't know, Valis, the goddess of wisdom and queen of Mitros, was killed also, you know, by Lutheria, who had also killed Rhodus's father, Pitor, when he tried to resurrect him. Lots of crazy things happening. You had, of course, tried to figure out what the hell, what is going on. And in doing so, you were able to realize that there's that salesperson again that has the squeaky toys for dogs, and of course they're going to be all over this session once more. But beyond that, you're able to surmise a couple different things and theorize. First, Lutheria clearly broke the oath of peace when she killed Pitor and Valis. Furthermore, though, she appears to no longer be in the Nether Sea, the realm within which the souls of Thylea reside and over which she holds domain, or held domain. There was at least a guess by one of the other characters that means that, of course, she's no longer in control of the souls and the passing of the afterlife, but if anything, if she violated the oath, she might be in the custody of the Furies, the creatures that you have got to meet once before that enforce the oaths across Thylea. Finally, and probably in the biggest reveal, Aesop and you figured out that there might be a connection between the mightiest of the dragons, the original dragons that came with the Dragonlords and fought against the Titans in the first war, and the 5 gods. Your theory now is that they might be connected, if not one and the same. Many of the names seem to have matched up. Many of the abilities of the gods seem to also be reminiscent of things. Now the question, of course, remains, what does that mean? What does that mean with the Oath of Peace? What does that mean with the actions of Lutheria? Where did that power come from? We left the session off, though, as people were thronging up against the Temple of the Titans, specifically Sidon, and demanding justice. Brissa and Estrella were able to calm the group down, disperse them from the temple. Chandras and the two ended up walking off to have some dinner with one another. As we're picking it back up, you all are still reeling and considering these implications. Lyra, you're of course lusting after a warlock item that requires the sacrifice of a humanoid, but don't worry about that. We'll totally kind of just, wink and nod and brush over that real easily. Don't worry about that. But as we pick things back up, Light of Thylea, the game is once again yours. Mess up my world. Fuck around. Please find out.
Oof. Where to go, what to do.
We'll say
right,
that as...
So...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No. I was going to ask a question anyway, so maybe you're going to answer it.
You ask your question first, and I just had a suggestion to try to keep things going from there. But what's your question?
I was going to say it looks like it's coming up on dinner time, game-wise. So based on that, I forget where were we last?
Lyra and Yanni, you two had gone to, back to the Ahura to try to shop for some other items. And Brissa and Estrella had gone to the Temple of Sidon to try to calm down the group. What you two did after you were done shopping, you tell me.
Yanni probably took a nap.
Alrighty. Describe in excruciating detail. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. As you're battling with insomnia, Lyra, you're alone, and that's always dangerous. As you are, let's say, within that shared room within the palace, you do see that outside of your room, there's a quartet of centurions that greet you as you pass through and kind of get back into your private chambers. It seems like security around the temple the palace has significantly increased since, the attack on Valis. As you settle back into your room and you see Yanni over in the corner already, like snoring, it's absurd. Like his head like hit the side of a pillow and it's just gone out immediately, deep sleep. What do you do?
It's like he's a toddler.
We've done a lot. It's been a busy day. He's teleported like 5 million times now. I wanted to pull out all of my like thread components for divination and cast divination when we got the chance to not be surrounded by people.
Okay. It's just you, Yanni, and probably a million things spying on you. What would you like to do?
Cast divination.
Alrighty. So as the fate threads once again kind of like coalesce around you, what's your intent with the spell?
I wanted to ask I mean, I can do it more than once, so it's not really that big of a deal. I wanted to ask them where we can find Lutheria.
Okay.
Because that's probably next on our bucket list after we go to Praxis. And it's a goal in the next 7 days, I think, is what divination will tell you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's more... You could rephrase that, you think, to yourself, Lyra's like, where's Lutheria? That's not really how divination works. Divination is more an outcome to an action, an activity, something where you actually have a momentum of your temporal, vector forwards, where you do something or don't do something and the consequences that come out of that, right? So as you try to get that, you might maybe rephrase that into something like, how would I find Lutheria? Or, where would I find Lutheria? In a way where it just, again, implies more of an action as you envision yourself in that process of doing that.
Yeah, then that's probably what I would ask.
Okay, this is not. I always hit those moments. I was like, well, how you said it, DM. It's more, as you might recast it or again and again or something like that, right? It's more of a like, what could you do?
I think her intent is more like, where would I need to go to find her? Not necessarily where is she, but like, even if it's like, this is where you need to go to figure it out, just where would I need to go in order to find her?
As you envision yourself, the fate strings suddenly seem to once again enrapture everything, or just encircle everything around you. Your eyes go black and you find yourself within the cave of the fates once more. This time, however, it is just Desdemona. None of the other sisters of hers, or I should say, her other compatriots, are with her at this time. As she steps forward, she says, "Well, hello, child. What brings you here today?"
Someone made a mess, and it's an inexcusable one, so we need to figure out where she's at.
Yes. An inexcusable mess. That's one way to put it. Well then. She kind of points forward, and there you see another one of these massive maggots kind of wriggling before the ground with a humanoid face, kind of like,
I thought we were done with the
looking
maggots.
up at you.
I have farmed so many of those things in Planescape Torment. Oh my gosh.
As she kind of like opens her clawed hand, you see a fate string suddenly pull out of the darkness of the cave above and lands in your hand. It seems to be a dirk of some sort, like a wavy dagger. The implication being that You are to sacrifice this maggot. She kind of like takes
Yanni
her
wakes
hand.
up. What are you doing with that thing?
Just over yawning.
The face does not look like Yanni's.
Does it look like anyone I know?
Definitely like Rodus's. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't look like anyone you know.
Oh, he just retired. I can't kill him.
No, that's what we do with retiring characters, right?
So it's a face maggot, but nobody that I know.
Yes.
Yeah, then I stab it. No hesitation.
You stab into it, and you hear, as much as you feel the squealing of the squirming creature underneath the hilt of this dagger, as you kind of cut through the very tough skin, black blood and guts just start to spill out of the creature, and the screeching continues as suddenly this pool before you starts to shimmer and shift and change. And what you see there suddenly seems to be the Nether Sea. You see the streams of souls like cascading waterfalls on the sides. And within that place, you see yourself upon the Ultros, bobbing up and down with the waters of it. As you see winged, horned humanoids battling with you and the rest of the crew, driving their spears and magic through you all. And past that,
like
kind
with us as in against us.
Against
like they're
you.
fighting us. Okay.
Mhm.
I was like, what?
And behind that, you see a towering, a weird concept of a thing. It seems to be a massive cube suspended by titanic chains that would be large enough to crush with a single link the palace that you currently reside in. As you look upon this thing, this cube of dark metal, you just get the feeling as the Ultros tries to sail towards it, as these winged creatures beset upon you. Those creatures, they're not like the fiends, the demons that you had fought before that Lutheria sent against you to try to rob you of your riches or your life. At the tip of this host, you can see the fiery red hair, the Prime Fury, as the Furies themselves are besetting your ship. You suddenly find yourself back within the palace grounds, as you're still holding your hand in a fist as if you're holding the dagger, but the dagger is now gone from your grasp.
Just one question before I bamped back into my normal body. Was the giant ribcage loom there?
Back behind her? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did it have anything different on it than last time? Because last time
way
it was
beyond
like
what divination does, and I already gave you way more than divination she is supposed to give you.
I just wanted to look, just to see.
Yeah, you tried to look past it, and there was just darkness behind Desdemona. You could see the white kind of like shapes on the left and right of her kind of looming, but they just went directly into darkness. It's almost like your sight radius was limited as part of the spell.
Gonna have to figure that out. Well, that's interesting because from what we know, she's not in the Nether Sea. But apparently this giant cube thing guarded by the Furies is in the Nether Sea.
What's your best guess as a player? And then if you can't think of anything, I'll have a roll as a character for you.
Maybe that this giant cube is a prison of some sort. I mean, it's got giant chain links holding it in the Nether Sea, so if I had to guess...
It was actually suspended over the Nether Sea, interestingly enough. Like, it didn't actually touch the
it
surface
wasn't
of the sea.
in the Nether Sea.
Mm. And the chains just extended upwards and then just disappeared into nothingness.
I mean,
Maze from God of War 3.
Yeah, my first guess is still, it's definitely a prison of some sort.
Shut the fuck up, Jared! I'm just kidding.
Don't base stuff on 15-year-old games. That's probably not 15. But...
I don't write this.
God, how long ago did God of War come out? Jesus Christ.
Shh, no, nobody needs to feel old right now.
Comes out next month. What are you talking about?
Exactly, yeah, that's right. It's a brand new game. I'm hip.
Yeah, I mean, first instinct is that's where we're going to find her because that's the prison that they're keeping her in, especially if she saw us fighting them to get there. Which means we'll still end up having to go to the Nether Sea at some point, probably to get there. If it was above the Nether Sea. I don't know any way else to get there. Because we were on the Nether Sea, right?
Yep.
I don't know. That's all I can really...
Make me an Arcana check, Lara.
I'm not good at those.
I know.
Just kidding.
Kicking off the stream, Will. You have been around a very babbly little Yanni, especially coming off of a lot of research sessions and feeling all important about academy and philosophy and thought experiments. And he keeps going into some kind of the carriage problem. He's like, whatever, you stop listening. But it's interesting because as he babbles on, every once in a while he says something that you're like, oh, that could be useful, I guess. Like one time he's like, you don't stuff a bag of holding into another bag of holding. You're like, I don't know why. What the fuck do I care about that? It's like, because then it disappears extra dimensional spaces. And that's when you stop listening. But in this moment, you think
Big
on...
bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. You know how it goes, you know? But as you think on that one, you wonder whether... whatever this cube is, whether it is a prison or not, could potentially hold within it yet other extra-dimensional spaces within which Thylea might reside. It would explain why she's not
but a
on...
multi-dimensional cube.
Exactly, so she is
right,
like...
because we can't... Because she's technically on a different plane of existence or whatever right now. Well, that complicates things more. Because if there's multiple planes of existence inside one cube, then that doesn't necessarily mean we'll just get to her if we get to the cube. I will let Yanni sleep and tell him about this later.
Shh.
No testimony, no.
Alrighty, do you want to fast forward to later in the day? If so, we'll go to Brissa, Estrella, and Chandras for a bit.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to do.
Alrighty. As night does start to settle over Mitros, Brissa, Chandras wasn't overselling it. The food indeed is absolutely delicious. The fig and jam here, or the fig jam is absolutely amazing. The meat that it is served with is absolutely delectable. And as Chandra is just kind of like, you know, it's just getting really into ordering different things and then saying like, oh, and Jin, just put it on the tab for light of Thylea. Yeah, just send it to the palace. They will handle it. Estrella and you both give him a little bit of a look. He's like, what? It's the least that I can, you know, get out of helping you. You know, get that little bit of a poker there, Brissa, huh?
I don't know if we can afford it. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's we're really strapped for cash lately. It's
Make me just have to check out that one. Chandra's is too nosy.
Deception. Oh, why could it be persuasion? Wait to go.
Because you lied.
Ah, yes.
It kind of gives you a look and it's like, oh, I didn't know that they didn't pay you. I mean, everyone who worked in the temple for Luteria always got paid very well. They're not paying you? Estrella just shakes her head. She looks at you.
No, I mean, not currently. We don't get a wage or anything like that, but maybe one day. But we do it for the benefit of the people in the world, right? We don't
Wait,
do it
didn't you
for the
just come
money.
back from slaying a dragon?
We did.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I mean, there's only so much known about dragons. But one of the, stories that they always told about the Dragonlords and the dragons was that after they slaughtered entire Gagan villages and murdered every last woman and child, they took all the gold and they ended up putting it in what did they call it? Like storerooms. No, that's not the right word. Warehouse. No, hoards. That's right. This dragon didn't have a hoard for you to just plunder the shit out of?
It was full of statues, lots and lots of statues.
That's it?
Yeah, just tons of- we gave some to the temple to free. It was a few renowned artists, really, famous artists and everything.
Wait, are you saying the statues were the artists?
Yes. Petrified.
Oh, wait. There have been a lot of people going missing for a long time.
Yes, our plan is to. We could only take a few, right? There was actually there was a good 20 to 30 statues, right? That would probably, we only brought. I carried 2. I think Rotus might have gotten 1. I don't remember it, but I know I at least brought back 2
Did you leave anything behind of note?
statues. Lots of statues. I mean, those are people.
Interesting. So you didn't bring the statues back, right?
Not yet. We plan on going back and get those statues.
I mean, I have been very busy just trying to hide here. I mean, Mitros is a great place to not draw the ire of Sidon. But, I mean, I'm also kind of bored, so maybe I could help with that.
I could talk to the party and we could see about, having you, telling you the location and having you go there. I trust you. I don't see why not. As
Thank
long
you.
as everything comes back. That you could take a cut too, of if there is a horde there as well.
Fantastic. That would be great. Yeah, I'll make sure to use my magics and sniff out. Maybe this dragon was just tricksy and they hid it somewhere that you just could not find it. Nothing against your, inquisitive capabilities. It's just that, sometimes things just go past our vision, and I am very good at enhancing mine, so.
I'm also just playing a joke on you. We did get to some of their horde, so yeah. But there's still some left that we could totally have your help on.
Listen, I don't even care about. I mean, I of course care about coin. It's been a little bit hard not having income, but that's beside the point. If you do have anything to share, I am always open for donations. That is said, if I could maybe be helpful in exchange for a wage, I would not mind that.
I think we could easily do that. That actually sounds like a really good plan. We'll just swear a little oath that you'll bring back everything, and then you can get we'll talk with the group. I'm thinking 10%. It's probably a good amount. And then you bring back all those people and and everything else, and then boom, a lot of people are happy, and then we could use some of the gold to get their petrification cured as well. I think that would go a long way.
Now you're thinking. Yes, I would be more than happy to do that. It must, be amazing for the reputation of the Light of Thylea too, to bring these people back to where they belong. I mean, it will only help your image. So I would be more than happy to help that, yes. Because anything that helps you helps me.
Yes, I will run it by... the rest of the group as well, right? And make sure that they're all okay with it. But I think that is more than feasible. If you want to catch up with me tomorrow afternoon, so to say, and then we'll
please afternoon. Yes, I have a long evening planned.
All right. Yes.
Speaking of, just so I can kind of make my plans. So let's say that I do this maybe in the next week or 2 or something like that. Yes. What are you going to do next? Anything that I could maybe partake in?
I mean, yeah, potentially. We're going to Briz will like look around, because it's like the meat, and say it like really softly,
Oh, I see. Yes. Why don't we have dinner and then we discuss details at the palace, huh?
Yeah,
That way we can
can
talk
do
to the
that.
group about percentages and depetrifying the petrified, those kind of things.
No, that's fair. We can go get to the group, and go do the dinner with the group. That sounds wonderful.
Oh, I suppose we could get this to go. You there, get 2 Minotaur slaves to carry all this food for us to the palace. Thank you. Yes, we'll put in 3 extra gold pieces for you. Thank you.
Can we not use slaves?
Oh. No. Minotaur is one of the best services in all of Mitros. They carry food anywhere. You could just have to make a request. Oftentimes you hail a siren from the sky and then they fly and go to the restaurant that you want to have it, and the Minotaur, ends up delivering it. It's a very convenient thing, even for those who don't have coin. Spells. Coin you do need.
I would still prefer if we just don't use slaves. It doesn't really sit right with me.
But they're right there. They're treated well. They probably eat much better than most of the other slaves in town. Huh?
Just give them a cold, hard look.
What? Oh, I didn't know. You have something against slaves?
It just doesn't sit right with me. So.
To each their own, I suppose. Let's do this the hard way. But you have the muscles now, so you carry, okay? Hey, I remember you when you were just a little whippersnapper. Used to be so thin and little. Look at you. This can't be good for you. A lot of magical juicing might have side effects,
It's worth it. I have 6 fingers now, so now I can carry more things.
How did I not notice this? Huh?
To the palace!
Oh, to the palace.
The only thing I could think of was Minotaur Dash, but it's not as catchy as DoorDash. I was like, I have to think of a pun for this, but I can't.
That's why I
think
said
of anything.
Minotaur, and there was an Ö over it instead of the Minotaur. Anyways, as you're giving baskets full of food, and Chandras he ordered an absurd amount of food for you all. You head back towards the palace, and we'll say, Yanni, by then you kind of took your migraine nap, and the pounding headache hasn't quite gone away, but it has lessened a little bit, right? You just don't have Tylenol available in this world. As you see Chandras and Brissa and Estrella walk into the place with just a shit ton of food, setting it down. Brissa, make me an insight check.
No, yeah, that's never. Yeah, I'm never good at inside. Briz is not good at reading people.
I rolled for Estrella, and she seems to kind of notice something as you kind of like just go in there like, food, setting it down on a table, and Estrella kind of gives a look over her shoulder, and then she kind of goes up towards Chandras and says, do a lot of people give you a hard time? And he goes, oh, yes, a lot of people, know that I used to be a high priest of Luteria, and that, of course, has implications. So everybody always thinks that I'm, a spy or whatever else. So I get a lot of that treatment. He kind of points towards the centurions who absolutely came, who have been standing outside of the room, have come into the room and are now just watching from, the walls. They're giving you guys room and privacy, but they're definitely listening in now, keeping an eye on Chandras. It's annoying, really, but I understand, I guess. Unless you want to do something about this? Points at, kind of looks at you, Brissa, pointing at the centurions. Just...
Privacy, please.
Centurions all kind of look at each other. One of them steps forward as she goes, Princess Brissa, I don't mean to be disrespectful. And she immediately drops to her knee as you start speaking again. It's like, I apologize. By order of the king, all of those who are associated with Luteria have been banished from Mitros. The temple has been raided. And, well, Chandras has been associated with the temple for a long time. Are you sure you want to... I'm sorry, it is out of my place. Yes, we will immediately go. She kind of like stands back up as she looks at the other centurions, and they walk out of the room.
Also, let your friends know that Chandras is no longer associated with Lutheria. He is the high priest of the light of Thylea now. You know, we'll work it out.
Are you saying that you're...
Nah. It was a joke.
Okay.
It was a joke.
Brisa does not speak for all of us. Let's just put it that way.
It was supposed to make you laugh, but you didn't get the joke. It's fine.
No.
Yeah, I didn't get it either.
Apologies.
Yeah.
It's like a
If
sting
anything,
it
he's
flew
just-
over my head.
He's
Have
retired.
a good night.
Chandras is just retired.
I'm retired. Yeah, that's a better one.
I do like that way of putting it. It is very nice.
Unfortunately, 401ks don't exist yet, so he gets no money from it. So
That's true. That's true. No compound interest for Chandras.
You don't know what he's done. So, he kind of like fills in the two of you what Brissa has told him before, and it's like, so anyway, I would be, you must try that fried frog leg over there, straight from the Old Woods recipe. Fantastic. Anyway, so I would offer my services in bringing those statues back towards Mitros so that we can bring the people back to the city where they belong, so that the, positive implications for Light of Thylea are immediately associated with the two. Yes, I think that would be a good idea. It is an offer to you two as well.
If you do the statues in the horde, and then you take out whatever it costs to like restore them to like normal people out of the horde, and then you keep 10% of that, and then
I thought it was
return the rest of
20%. I'm
us?
pretty sure you said 20.
I'm pretty sure it was 10.
20 would be, probably a pretty good compensation.
15 down the middle then.
15 it is. Wonderful.
All right. Is that okay with everyone? I think it would help us out in the end.
I can't do math, so
I just don't want to do math.
Okay, then it is agreed. I will do this. Where was this potential horde, and more importantly, these statues?
I guess we will describe Hexia's island, and the peak,
we got
and
a
then
map. Surely we got a map.
the horde. Yada, you're good at illusion magic. Can you like illusion it up and like kind of like show and like where it would be and stuff like that?
No, I
Oh.
don't think so.
So right here on this
Oh.
map, this is the island of the dragon,
Uh-huh.
and then like right
Yeah.
here at this very top point, there's a pool of water. Okay, and
Mhm.
right by that pool of water is a cave. That's where all
Mhm.
the statues are.
Okay,
So
I should be able to do this. Did you leave anything behind on the island? Anything that would help me focus my teleportation magics? Something that I've
an
seen
entire
before.
civilization.
I think you've seen before.
Did
Oh,
we leave anything?
Tip
there?
going forward. Take things or
some
leave
blood.
things at places so that you can more easily return to them in the future.
Did I take anything from there?
Stiffer joints.
Hmm?
Oh, she spent half the trip stoned. Literally.
It's
Good to know though, because I did take some flowers from the Lotus Witch's temple, so. But I don't think I took anything from this island. Just jungle fever.
It's more the opposite. You want to leave something there that I'm familiar with, because when I can teleport without needing the circles, it'll be easier for me to get to the thing.
Yes, that is the ideal way to do it.
Leave something there, not take something with you.
I mean, you can do both. It would help me to have something that I could use as a focus, but yeah, that's beside the point. Also, people's hair.
And-
Get people's hair. Very useful in many different situations.
Good to know.
I don't think we left anything there.
When Peter fell, he had his weapon. Did we ever pick up that weapon, or did like Vulcan pick it up?
Vulcan would have picked it up.
Yeah,
Only
probably.
Vulcan.
I was thinking the same thing though. I don't know if Yanni shot any arrows. There might be arrows there.
Did I? Yeah, I had to have.
At some point, surely.
I'm
I
trying to
know I
think how.
did in the fight in the village.
I'm gonna roll the D100 to see how familiar Chandras would be with that stuff.
Well,
Familiar enough that it
arrow.
might work. It's like
Right,
that
showing-
arrow. Remember that
An
arrow?
arrow.
I can
is-
show him others from the batch I was carrying.
Right.
Yeah,
an arrow
but
is
it's like-
pretty vague.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, we have.
Pitor's
Items.
blood. There's some of Pitor's blood there.
Well, we don't necessarily have stuff that's there, but we
How
have
familiar is
stuff
Chandras
from
with Peter's
there.
blood?
We have like the comb and the crown and the from there, not technically there, but
Sure,
from there.
it's been there for a while. We have one of the statues. Anyway. He
I'm
goes,
sure I still have the
enough.
crown
All
on
right,
my
all
head,
right.
probably.
I will be able to figure it out on my own. That's good enough. Now, Brisa had already said, yes, you guys would like to hire me on a wage to help you accomplish these things, so thank you for that. The 15% I think is more than fair. Now, what are the next steps? What is the Light of Thylea going to do?
You know, that's actually a great question, and I'm so glad you're here, Chandras. You're just the person I'd want to see in this moment right now.
Thank you.
Do you happen to know anything about a giant cube floating above the Nether Sea?
Yes? Why?
Because apparently that's where we need to go.
Are you sure?
Yep.
When did you learn that? How did you learn that?
Oh, you were asleep, and I didn't want to wake you up, so.
I guess let's start off
Okay,
with
so
what
you
is-
indirectly said you learned that while I was asleep, so that answers one of those two questions. How did you learn that?
Well, I asked Desdemona. I was like, "Hey,
That explains the
We-
nightmares.
need to find
Or napmares?
we need to find Lutheria. Where do we need to go?" And she was like, "Hey, there's this giant cube floating above the Nether Sea, but just FYI, the Furies are gonna attack you, and you have to get there on the Ultros." So,
Well, yes. The cube is where the Furies reside, and, are you sure that is where you want to go?
well, that's apparently where Lutheria is, which means that's where we need to go to
Okay.
kill her
Well,
and get back Valis and Pitor's souls. Hopefully, they're there. I didn't ask
Mhm.
about that. I only can
Mhm.
ask so much, honestly.
okay. Well, that would explain it. Well, you see, the cubes, and there are many of them, have existed there since the beginning of time, as far as I know, since the creation of Thylea and the Nether Sea and everything associated with it. So it is intricately tied with many of the darker sides of Thylean history. I highly
That makes
advise
sense
against
if the Furies are there.
yes, messing with them, because they don't like joy or anything luxurious, or they enjoy things very much by the scroll. They are how do you say, very aggressive in enforcing oaths all across Thylea.
Yeah, that checks
So-
out. We met one, so.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah, kind of by accident.
Oh,
Megara,
right?
That was her name?
She came
Megara.
personally?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
she
even
was
remember
pretty
what we
pissed.
did, honestly.
tried to remove the curse on me and you, and then
That
that's when
one.
you appeared.
Yep.
Oh, right. We tried to do a remove curse on our curse, and she was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people have tried that before. Okay. If your idea is to storm one of these cubes,
I don't think
it-
storm
one
is
of.
necessarily the right word.
Yeah.
well, you would
I
have
don't
to. This place that you're seeking, it is often referred to as the Island of Oathbreakers, and well, you would become part of them.
We become an oathbreaker? So is what you're saying?
Well, no, but they would probably take you
Subclass
prisoner
change for Bristol.
regardless.
Oh, gotcha.
Can they be reasoned with? Is there a way to like talk to the Furies without like? Do they make deals themselves? Like like those types of things where we don't have to storm a cube.
Right. I mean, the whole situation
Um,
is not we're going there to kill Lutheria. Honestly, we can bench that. We're going there because Lutheria has 2 souls that don't belong there.
Yes.
So surely they're if
Which
they're
she got
by
by
the scroll,
breaking the oath of peace.
right? If they're by the scroll, surely they would let us go retrieve these souls that shouldn't be there from breaking of an oath that's been around for 500 years.
well, but that's for them. It is more, how to put this. They have enforced it, right? At this point, that is where she is, huh? I see. So the issue that you are running into is that, well, how to put this? I don't know. I have never heard of such a thing. I mean, it is insane that she would do this in the first place, so I don't know.
Lutheria is insane herself, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it checks out.
But I say we go there, right? And we go there peacefully, and we don't try to storm a cube, and we just try and talk to them, and maybe we can do some research beforehand and see if there's a way to make a deal with them somehow.
Yeah.
The Fury.
Yeah, just because the vision that they showed me was us fighting the Furies doesn't necessarily mean that we will end up fighting the Furies.
Right.
Exactly.
It's very confusing like that.
Yes, I said we don't try and attack the things that took a god hostage. That sounds like a very bad.
Yeah. Or at least do it one at a time. We were fighting all of them. That was a stupid idea, future us. I don't know why we would think, let's fight all the Furies all at once.
We wouldn't.
Yeah.
Clearly, somebody wasn't listening to me in that future.
Yeah,
Clearly.
yeah. I feel like like a solo adventure might have happened like at one point, and someone was like, hey, "I'm gonna go like scout something," and then it just turned out horribly.
We scouted all the way to the Nether Sea. I don't know.
Like like the Ultros was there, and then someone was like, "Oh, let me fly off and do some scouting," and then
Gotcha. Well, all of us can fly now, thanks to magic. So.
Oh, okay.
I sense a little bit of shade and salt.
Lyra knows it's in love.
Oh, good.
It's been a long day. All I want is someone that can do something for me without me having to kill somebody, but apparently that's not on the table, so
What?
don't worry about it.
Might as well tell him.
But I just want something to help me with my magic. So we went to Agalia's shop and I was like, hey, you're super cool. We're best friends. I love all your cats and your plants and I buy one every time I'm there. And you have magic stuff and can you help me with my magic? And she was like, what kind of magic do you have? And I was like, oh, well, it's magic from the fates. And she was like, oh, well, that's sacrificial pact magic. And I can't deal with that because that means I would have to kill somebody in order to give you anything. And I was like, well, that's
Why didn't
bogus.
you come to me? I could have helped you with this. Oh,
well,
come on.
Theoretically, hypothetically, I may have already asked someone to do it for me, so.
Did you already pay?
Yeah.
Honey, come on. Next time you come to me first, okay?
Well, what can you get me? I could pay 2 people. We found a lot of gold. Did Brissa tell you we found a lot of gold?
No. She just said part of a hoard, so I
You
suppose
were
yes.
sitting right there.
I mean, surely if we're gonna pay you.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're going to be very wealthy after your 15%. So don't you worry.
Keep your money. I'm not doing this for money. You do your thing. I can help you. Yeah, I will need money.
50% of then?
I mean, I need to live. 15%, I don't know, that might get me through like a couple of weeks of fine dining. But that aside, yeah, in the future, if you want to get something else, more than happy to help you. And no, I do not shy away from a little bit of sacrificial magic. We've all done it.
Look, as long as it's a bad guy, like, what's the harm?
Exactly.
That's a double win. I get a
Yeah.
thing. A bad person is dead.
You're
There's
making the
literally
world
no loss there.
safer. Yes, yes.
Gosh. Oh, I can't give you anything because it's dark magic sacrifice stuff. That's dumb.
It is so stupid. A lot of the best things that have been found out have come from dark places. You know, sometimes you have to experiment to find out.
We literally have magic that could bring people back to life. A little sacrifice isn't that bad.
Thank you. Necromancy, everybody's like, oh, you cannot raise the dead. But then they turn around and raise the dead, you know?
Anyways, thanks. If this person falls through, I'll come to you.
Thank you. Of course. Always, always open. So, okay, so you're thinking about going into the Nether Sea to the Island of Oathbreakers, if that's where Lutheria might be.
Right.
Okay.
Well, unless there's another way to get there, sure. But
After
No.
the tower, right?
yeah. Oh well, yeah. We're going to Praxis first, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh. Oh. You're still doing that?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oath of
Are you
Peace is still
sure?
priority number 1. So
I mean, yes, but Lutheria, I mean, Lutheria was taken care of, and maybe things just will kind of work out, I suppose.
We are still doing it.
Well, so, I mean, was Lutheria taken care of? Yes, but there's also 2 gods that don't have souls right now, so we gotta fix that. So, but we need to not have people at each other's throats while we're doing that. So,
Oh. So that only leaves Vulcan and Kyra currently, huh?
As far as we know, haven't been able to get confirmation.
yeah, we haven't been able to talk to Kyra for a while, but Vulcan, hopefully.
Vulcan didn't get back to me the last time.
Well. Alright. So you're trying to sacrifice something for a very reasonable purpose. You want to still have peace with Sidon, which is commendable. I'm sorry, I just don't like the Order. I think they're really into themselves and into principles of Sidon ruling everything, and, you know, I don't vibe with it, let's say. But if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. And then ride into the Nether Sea and assault the Furies themselves. Okay. Understood. How can I help?
I mean, if you want to come with us to the Nether Sea, like we're more than willing to let you come with us.
How about 20% of that horde, huh? I just want to live it up before I die.
If we give you 20%, then you'll come with us?
25, yes.
You just said 20.
Yeah, I like
No
20.
back.
No.
20's a good-
I'm pretty sure I said 25.
Nope.
You could.
I was
get that,
thinking
and we could just
30.
do
I
it
was thinking
without
30.
you,
You're right. I should have said
honestly.
30, but just 25. I don't, you know.
Yeah, 20's good. Honestly, if you want 20 just to go to the Nether Sea, we'll just keep it at 15, and you can help us with the statues. So
I think 20 is perfectly fine. Let's do 20. He saved our bacon against
22 and a half.
All right.
did he save us against Gaius? Because he's still alive.
What?
Do we know that?
We don't know that.
Didn't we see him in a funky vision thing that we had? Didn't we all trip balls and see Gaius?
You know what?
It's just a lot
I
of
kind of
listeners.
I don't remember much of what I actually see when I trip balls. I rely on the rest of you to fill me in after the fact.
Someone did.
I also
don't
don't dream in
remember
color. What
If
does
it
that
was
mean?
all of us. Was it when we were... When did that happen?
I think it was actually during the dream sequence.
Was it on the island when we
Mhm.
ate food from the Horn of Belmitria? Right?
Yep.
We saw Lutheria talking to resurrected Gaius. And we saw something else, and I don't remember what it was.
You know, Lutheria lives where all the dead souls are. If
Yeah.
if she was talking to Gaius, he might have just been a soul.
Yeah. He may like she could have just been talking to us.
Might have been his physical manifestation in the realm of the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I want to believe that he's still alive because clearly killing him didn't get rid of the oath that he made with Kyra. So,
Well, he might have had her swear it to Sidon, though. We don't know.
Yeah, he probably did. That would make sense. I mean, it's something we could ask Sidon when we talk to him. Ask him if he can, get rid of that oath.
I believe the correct terminology is release her from it.
Yeah, release it from it. Yeah.
maybe we can convince him to break it, and then he'll be trapped in the Nether Sea Cube too, and we won't have to deal with it.
I'm pretty sure that was a one-way oath. I don't think
Yeah.
she got anything in return other than you getting away.
Yeah.
Astoria
Right.
also didn't get washed away by continuous rains. Or no, that was the opposite. Astoria
that
was
was
drought,
dry.
and
The
Mitras
Kyra
was
one was me not getting eaten by a dragon.
partially. The other part of that was the sacrifice to Sidon, because you guys had kind of like
right.
stepped in
Right,
in
right,
order
right.
to avoid Nora. Yeah.
Right.
So much
Honestly,
lore on
does
this
that
campaign.
mean if I just get eaten by that dragon, does that mean the oath is broken? Should I just go sacrifice myself to Gaius's dead dragon that we killed?
I was gonna say the dragon's dead.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
just go find what's left of it and impale yourself on
Yeah.
a tooth or a talon or a broken
It's
rib
like
or something.
decomposing rib cage. I just jump on it.
You're
Loopholes.
weird.
Yanni, we've been together a long time.
Feels like years, doesn't it?
You
But yeah,
certainly talk
anyways.
like a
2
married
months.
couple. I will point that out. But okay, 20%. I can help you. I lived in the Nether Sea for a long time, so I would be willing to guide you around. But hey, there better not be just 4 coins in this hoard.
No,
There's more than 4 coins.
How much more?
It's like
a bunch.
There's like 25-ish, 1,000 gold coins sitting there.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Isn't there? Wasn't there?
5,000 gold?
I thought it was-
Well,
Okay.
I thought
Well,
we grabbed
I know-
most of the gold. I thought it was mostly silver that we left.
Right, I know we left most of the silver.
We left
but it-
all the silver.
Yeah, all the silver.
I thought we left half the gold too because we could only carry half.
I think so.
Yeah. I'll scroll up and look, but I'm pretty sure it's half the gold that we grabbed.
Whatever
David
the
gave us
exact
too much
amounts
money.
might be, if that is true, yes, I'm willing to go to the Nether Sea with you, and I'll be your guide. Because all the cubes look the same. That's not true, but
The untrained eye, right?
Well, I mean, I
Oh.
know what this one looks like, but I don't know what the rest of them look like, so
yes. All right. Whew, well, living around you certainly is interesting.
do you want to come to Praxis with us?
No, I will get smitten.
Smitten?
No, not smitten.
Jinx.
I don't think Sidon is. I'm not his favorite right now. It's just a hunch.
Well, I'm pretty sure he just lost his favorite right now, so we're gonna have to deal with that.
True. Oh, that's what I'm saying. This all seems just very complex. Are you sure? You could just ghost the situation, stay in Mitras, be safe under the dome of magicness. It's fine.
Honestly, at this point, we've spent so much time just on this one thing that if we were to just not do it at this point, it would be a huge waste. So,
All right. Well, I just had to try to talk you out of it, All right. Well, I will go retire. Thank you for keeping up my tab around Mitros. It's not insignificant. Thank you very much for that. And I will start making arrangements for getting these statues back. What's the timeline looking like, huh?
We do have to be at Praxis in I don't have it.
4 days, I think, maybe.
Yeah, 4
1,
days.
2, 3,
so-
4,
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Oh, is it still 5? I thought we had it because I know it was 5
No,
when
you
we
guys
got
just
here,
have been
but
doing
for
a
some
lot of
reason I
roleplaying a
thought
single day.
I thought a day had passed since then. for
Yeah, we
some
spent like
reason.
2.5 sessions in
Oh.
his 16-hour block of time.
Long.
It's been
5
pretty
days.
significant, to be fair.
It's
yeah.
been almost 1 for 1.
Yeah, 5 days counting today.
So if you can get to all of that back and forth in between, then that would be great. But if you have to do it after that, then it's fine too.
I might be able to. Do you have a bag of folding or something I could borrow?
No.
Looks
We
at
do
the
have a
bag of holding around.
It's
Okay.
kind of full right now, though. So
All right. I mean, I asked that I could have, so totally fair. Whatever.
What do you need it for? Actually,
Nothing.
go ahead.
I'll be fine. I'll figure it out.
You know what? Maybe we could get a Galia to rent us one or something.
or just buy some more. It would be so cool
Listen,
if we
I'll
each
just
had
buy
our
it
own.
on credit. I'll put your name as the ante for it or whatever, and I'll figure it out. It will be fine.
Yeah. This one technically is on loan from Valis, so that's
Well, she won't be needing it anytime soon, am I right? Oh,
if you
that's
have
her,
her for that, I swear.
that's her
to
adopted
God.
mom. That's her adopted mom you're talking about.
That is
I'm
true.
sorry.
Well, I'm not sure.
I
We're
did hear
still
about
fucking
that.
up.
You are the princess now, Princess Arcalander. Very well
Yes,
done.
yes. Thank you. I'm very
Yeah,
excited.
I don't really know how adopting an adult works, but apparently you can do it.
Even though, if Valos cannot come back now, I suppose you could just marry the man outright and become queen immediately, huh? You skip a couple
Does that
steps.
still count as God,
Adoption?
that'd be great.
No.
No, I was going to say incest.
Oh, no.
Since he adopted her.
I mean, incest is not that big of a problem anyway. You keep the bloodline pure. And in your case, it doesn't even matter.
I look at Estrella.
She just throws birdseed at your face. So, marriage off the table? I love planning a good wedding.
Nobody's getting married to anyone.
Why
Rhoda is getting
not?
married. Hey, being married
Rhoda
is,
is?
yeah,
Oh.
he's engaged, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been engaged for a while.
Yeah.
Since like the Great Games. And that happened like a
To
week
whom?
ago.
He looks over at Estrella.
No, not those. Yeah.
No.
It's
Someone-
to a noblewoman in.
Yeah. An unrelated third party.
Oh, he met an actual true love. That happens so infrequently with
No.
important
No,
people.
technically he was
He
bought,
hoarded
so-
himself out for like 500 gold. And
Yeah. And
No,
we-
he did not.
we
Yeah.
still
Oh,
lost,
stop
so-
it. Oh. Titans
Yeah,
be good.
they're
That
gonna-
is amazing.
they're
But
gonna
at least
live
he's
on
a
a
pretty
farm or
pricey whore.
something.
I mean, comes by it naturally, apparently.
He's probably cheaper
Really?
than his brother, so
I mean, his father.
There you go.
That's what I want. Anyways, all right. Well, it sounds like you have a lot of planning and talking to do. Thank you for having me for dinner. It was very nice to stay at the palace for a while. I don't really have a place to stay, so I guess I'll just kind of look around.
You
some-
can stay
Hey,
here.
bye.
Oh,
Fine.
thank you. I just didn't want to drag this out for too long. Sure, that is nice of you. Thank you. Do you mind if I stay actually around you? Because... And he kind of looks towards the door where the Centurions are.
right, yeah, that's fair. We'll probably have to ask permission because
Thanks. Anyways. All right, which one is mine? And he looks around, and you see him kind of walk towards Rhodus' empty, kind of like side room. And there's a pang of sadness that immediately rushes through all of you as you kind of consider the fact that Rhodus is gone. And it's really that moment where it hits you the hardest.
nope, not that one. That's not your room, actually. So
Well, which one then?
is there like a couch out in the central room somewhere?
That would be like a chaise or something, sure.
Yeah, I'll go grab a pillow and a blanket from my room
But
and
it's
put it
that
out
one
on
is
the shade.
literally empty.
It's reserved. So
Wow. Okay, Lyra. I see you.
yeah, I'm not invisible, so.
Huh. Whatever. Makes him kind of himself comfortable upon the chaise and kind of like starts nibbling on some of the rests of the food. What else would you guys like to accomplish this evening?
Sleep.
Yeah, probably just call it a night. I would like to go back to the academy tomorrow and see if I can find anything in the histories or even the myths or whatever about these cubes in the Nether Sea and specifically the island of Oathbreakers. But I'm not going to do that after dinner.
It's too heavy of a subject, I get it.
Exactly.
Alrighty. With that, all right, everybody gets in a long rest. You guys are not assailed by anything in the evening. You bed
I
down,
hope not.
but the emptiness of Rhodus' bed certainly weighs heavy on your hearts.
Okay, I gotta roll a bunch of stuff.
Do your things. I'll just wait over here. I'll just wait. Take your time, Todd. Don't worry about it.
Cool. We can work with an 8.
Just want to assume that you're sad today?
Well, I am, so problem
just assume.
solved.
Have you ever thought about taking mood stabilizers? I hear like Xanax is fantastic.
Oh, I'm really sad now because I guess I'm gonna give Gift of Alacrity to myself because Rhodus isn't here anymore. Now I'm actually sad. Yeah, I guess I'll cast Gift of Alacrity on myself.
Alrighty.
If
The morning comes, and before you're even able to whiz off to the academy, Yanni, there's a knock upon the door. The same centurion kind of steps forward as she goes, apologies for the interruption. The king has requested to see you urgently. He says it has to do with your plans in the south. Yanni, to you immediately that translates into Aresia.
Yep.
All
right, we'll be there in a couple minutes.
I will wait outside. You guys get yourselves dressed. Chandras just goes, I guess I can come too.
I mean, he can always kick you out if he doesn't want you there.
It's true.
But you guys are pretty chummy, or at least you used to be, so...
I feel like my station probably has reduced now. Unless you introduce me as the priest of the light of Thylea. I like that one. That was a good one. Imagine you as gods. Can you just imagine? What would you be? Brisa, the goddess of strength and beauty. Yanni,
Dragons. She'd be the goddess of dragons.
Wait, you can be the
100%.
god of 2 things? I thought you only get 1.
I mean, Thylea is kind of the goddess of 2 things, of death and dreams, you know?
Yeah, that's
Yanni. Yanni would be the... he would be the god of sharp wits and sharper tongues, yes.
I was gonna say wisecracks, so yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, there you go. Lyra. The goddess of making people sleep on chaises when they're perfectly good bedrooms. Yeah. Pettiness.
Yeah.
The petty
Yeah,
goddess.
that checks out. Yeah.
Chaos.
Chaos. Yes. I mean, chaos is a force to reckon with. That'd be interesting to see what you would be. Straya. Wisdom. Well,
Edge.
the spot just opened up, so maybe you should take it.
You just don't grasp the concept of too soon, do you?
Oh,
It's just,
that's
you know.
right. Ugh, sorry. Oops. Anyways, I'm ready. Should we go?
Yes, let's go.
Might as well.
All right. And as you guys go towards one of the meeting rooms, once again, off of the throne room, it seems like less people are now seeking an audience, which translates to your mind, Yanni, with your passive investigation to the populace, especially the nobles of Mitros, seem to be at least a little bit swayed as to the, well, even keel nature, that you seem to have things in control, hopefully. But as you step forward, which ones these are? Ha 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 ha! You know, really good job. When you have fancy things prepped, then you don't remember what fancy things do. Well.
Alex, how much does your inspiring leader? I know we didn't do it, but how much does it give you now?
This is a question. It gives an X amount.
I'm just curious because now that we're level 12, I get 12 just from casting Gift of Alacrity at the start of the day.
I gain level plus my charisma modifier, so 12 plus 2, 14. So.
So yours will always pretty much be higher than mine by whatever your charisma is.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah.
All right.
Who knows? I might switch it out. We'll see.
As you guys round the corner and walk into this little bit of a meeting room, you see that quite a few centurions are lining the walls. At the end of the room, of course, you have King Acastus, but sitting at his side is a masked figure in dark garb, a cloak kind of covering their head, as well as a beautiful gold and what looks like porcelain mask inside. As you try to look at it, you just see nothing behind those black pools where the eyes should be. Nothing is, showing any kind of opening towards the mouth itself. As the figure looks towards you, the three of you go ahead and make me a medicine check, we'll say.
What?
Yeah, I'm not good at those.
Have we ever done one of those?
Jesus, just natural 20 after natural 20 tonight.
Wow, we just have to keep saying we're not good at something, and then boom, 20s.
Yanni, with a 19, you still cannot suss out whether this is man, woman, or what. This androgynous figure just kind of greets you. They seem to have a very straight back, natural posture, but your mind still suddenly stops and your back shivers. For you know stories about this person. When you used to live on the streets of Aresia, there was one order of monks that, in a way, recruited from your kind, urchins, more often than not, finding those who were the most able-bodied, the most wily, the ones that were able to get from rooftop to rooftop without being seen, without being heard. And that right there, as far as you can now tell, is the master of shadows, the master of one of the monastic traditions in Aresia. Acastus looks at you and says, welcome. And he kind of stops himself as he sees Chandra approaching. He goes, welcome, mighty king. And he drops to a knee. I am an attaché of mighty light of Thylea, yes? He kind of shoulders Bersen to the side.
Yes, hello, Acastus. How are you? He is okay. He is kind of he's working for us, and he has sworn an oath as well that he no longer worships or takes orders from Lutheria and everything, and so he is on our side, and he's going to do a lot of rescuing of some great poets and stuff like that. So if you could make sure that the guards don't bother him and stuff like that, that would be wonderful. But for now, he he's on our side.
Well, if you trust him, we'll talk later about that.
All right, we can talk later.
First up, make me a persuasion check on that one.
You know what? I have an inspiration. I will use it for Chandras.
For Chandras.
Wait till after you roll.
Oh my
There we
god.
go.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well, we've all got one. That means we're never gonna get another one this whole session.
That's already 2 for Alex.
That's amazing.
No. Yeah, they got one.
Because, well, of course, our guest here is bringing news about a potential approach into our southern target. I suppose your mind could be useful in gleaming weak spots. Travis goes, weak spots. South, what are we talking about? Are you sailing the Tower of Praxis? No.
No.
Oh. Wait. I think I have heard of you before. You're from Aresia. Master of Shed. You are trying to... Kind of looks around, realizes the doors are still open. Don't worry, I'll... Kind of walks over to her as I... Closes the doors. You're attacking Aresia. Yes, I see now. Don't let me distract. I will just sit over here. He kind of sits on one of the side things at the end of the long end of the table. But not like, okay, I'm not describing this very well. There's, of course, Acastus, who is at the actual end. The opposite end is currently open, and the Chandler's pretty much just sits on one of the side chairs. As you guys all kind of sit down, this entire time, Yanni, the Master of Shadows has said nothing. Just considered. You can't even perceive their breath escaping. It gives you shivers just to think of this boogeyman of the streets of Aresia that you've heard about so much.
So tell us about your friend Acastus and what, where is he from, and like what information does he have?
Well, they have been rather cryptic up until now, demanding to speak to you directly. The Shadow Master seems to kind of just consider and point towards an empty chair, cocking their head to their side. Rotis has seen to his duties in Astoria. With the death of his father, his sister Enora needed the support, and you understand. The cocked head kind of returns back to neutral and nods. Well, as per your request, the light is here, plus attaché. Now then, you said you have a proposition, something that might aid Mitros in its struggle against Aresia. And as the figure kind of turns away from Acastus towards you all, the mask actually comes to rest and point towards Yanni.
Oh, thank God.
You.
Oh.
You are from Aresia, yes.
Yes.
Hello?
The accent gives it away.
Hello?
Do not make me laugh in that voice. I cannot.
What do you look like under that mask, stranger?
I'll never tell. No. I have read much about you. Who you are, where you came from, the things you took from Aresia before you left. My sources are everywhere there, as I trust you know, Yanni.
I mean, yeah, we always kind of thought you were a boogeyman, but turns out not so much.
My sources have told me that you are considering an assault upon my city.
That's been discussed. We have been trying to figure out a way to I guess, facilitate a peaceful handing off of the city to Sidon and his forces and the Fey folk that follow him. But, as you say, I grew up there. I realize how unlikely that is.
It is impossible. Until we remove the obstacle that keeps peaceful passing of power.
Which is...
Hmm.
the Queen?
I heard much of your deductive reasoning. I suppose there's still much learning to be done.
I'm assuming you're talking about Queen Helen.
Another nod from the master.
Another nod from the masked figure.
You should
Oh,
just
yeah.
use that all the time. That should
Yeah,
just be your
just constantly.
de facto. Be really funny if people who have never met you before, that's, you know.
That's how you sound.
Kind of like how Mike Tyson always surprised people with his high and lispy voice.
Yes, I speak of Queen Helen. She must be removed for there to be any chance of a peaceful transition. Otherwise, you will never succeed. Are you willing to do this? If not, then I will make this clear. I will not aid you, and you will have to run up against the walls and fortifications, as well as the artifact that keeps them safe, and lose hundreds of soldiers, and ultimately fail.
I am much more okay with killing one person versus the numbers that would die on both sides in a war.
I
Good.
mean, could we just like kidnap her?
But
No. She must die for this to work.
pride's a really big thing in Aresia. I mean, it's a really
Now
big thing.
we're
all
okay
over,
with
but
human
it's a
sacrifice.
I don't like it, but lesser of two evils and all that. And, you know, on some level, if she was a good leader, she'd be like, oh, you know, if this will save all the rest of my people, sure, I'll sacrifice myself. I mean, she'd never do that. But, you know, that would be the hallmark of a great leader willing to sacrifice for the good of their people.
Acastus shifts uncomfortably.
Yeah,
So-
there's no surprise there.
Don't worry, King. I'm not saying that you need to do that.
Oh, but of course I would immediately.
yeah.
It's why I have been, training the dragons to make sure that we have a force that can stand against Sidons. And the Master of Shadows just raises their hand.
I am uninterested in whatever other machinations you have. This is about the future of Aresia, and Aresia alone. I have your assurances that Mitros will not own Aresia after this, correct?
Mitros
But-
will not.
Yeah,
That's never been the plan.
yeah.
This is a I guess a sacrifice that we're asking of Aresia. Possibly we're going to force on Aresia for the good of basically everybody, Fey and immigrant alike.
Indeed.
It would placate Sidon and possibly allow a path forward with peace for the foreseeable future, at least.
Sean just goes, sorry, dropped some of the silverware. Please continue.
Can't take you
Understood.
anywhere.
I can help you get into the city unseen. A small group of you. The light. Together we can get through the streets, to the palace, and strike at the heart. Kill the queen. Destroy the Palladium. And enable your forces to take the rest of the city.
Do I know what the Palladium is? I
Oh,
assume
yeah.
I would.
It is a very powerful magical artifact, Yanni, that, I mean, you're not old enough to have known about the many Eurasian campaigns, but the stories that you heard were essentially that the walls themselves magically healed. The ballistae that were upon the fortifications of the very the mountainous and forested area of Eurasia would almost fire as if manned by the ghosts of former centurions and monks. You know that the Palladium is one of the most treasured artifacts of Eurasia, a thing that is able to defend the city, and stories go, the reason that Eurasia never fell when a Mitros struck up against it.
Do we have to destroy the Palladium, or can we, like, bring it to Mitros, or...
The monks and soldiers will defend against any incursion, even should the queen fall. We must break their spirit. Besides, I am willing to share one of the deepest secrets of Eurasia, to show my earnestness in this endeavor. Below the
I guess
palatial
so.
halls. Oh, but guess I'll just go. Goodbye.
Please
No.
Cassus leans over towards Hubris and says, like, Lyra's extra sireny today, huh? Oh, part of the month. Are you two synced up? Is that, that's what's happening, right?
Really? We're going there?
Will stab him.
Really? We're going there?
I just gotta play a Cassus to the Cassus that he probably would be.
I want to
He's a
roll a
bro.
perception check. Just kidding.
He's
I have a
totally
+0.
You'd probably roll a natural 20 on that too.
Probably.
Anyway.
Underneath the palatial halls was a secret that the line of Helen's ancestors has kept for centuries. The 5 gods that you worship are not the only ones that exist. And no, I am not simply speaking of the Titans. There was a 6th god.
What?
Why? Valis filled us in before she died.
Yeah,
She
we
asked
already
us
know.
to look into him before we did anything. In
Yeah,
Eurasia.
she told us already.
You can't see the face of the figure to kind of like suss out how that might affect them, but they definitely stop there for a solid 10 seconds.
You're talking about Narcissus, right?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Narcissus.
Valis wanted us to make sure he didn't get caught up in all this.
Well, he will have to be. It is his blood that powers the Palladium.
Well, Malaka.
If we free him from there and rescue him, would it break the Palladium then?
Breaking the Palladium would be the only way to free him in the first place.
It sounds like a win-win. It sounds like
Is
he'd be
something
very
he
angry.
Did voluntarily, or was he, let's say, conscripted?
Indentured.
The latter, though he believes himself to be in a paradise of sorts. He is nothing but a prisoner to the Queen.
He won't die if we break it, though, right?
I do not know, nor
No.
do I care. What I want
It's important.
is a free Aresia.
I think we can.
Why, guys? What's the problem?
We would definitely get rid of, Helen. I think that is great information. Yeah. And we will definitely, break the Palladium.
I sense your hesitation. Speak plainly.
We would do it. We will do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to cause a big power vacuum, and I'm sure other people are going to leap onto that, and I just don't want you to get caught up into that.
I am prepared to pull the strings necessary. Aresia is a proud city, led by people of strength. We will implement those who will see it to success.
Yeah,
You're confident in yourself. I'm confident in you.
I'm confident in them too. That's it could be their own
If
choices.
even half the rumors about you and your order that I heard growing up on the streets are true, then I have no doubt that you can handle whatever is required.
I sense that there is something more. What are you not telling me?
That's pretty much it.
I mean, I'm kind of hungry, but didn't get breakfast. Oh, I'm also an asshole.
Yeah.
Just,
It's just a lot. Like, we're literally just gonna destroy the city and kill the queen, just for peace. And I get it. It's just it's a lot. There's a lot to grasp, honestly.
I am a little. You said you wanted a free Aresia. I don't think that's what's going to come of Sidon. I think it's going to be probably. It's going to be free from whatever it is Helen does that you don't like, but it's not like it's just going to be a free for all.
Right, and Mitros obviously won't be involved anymore.
What do you mean, Sidon?
I mean, Sidon wanted the city for his people and specifically for the Fae that have been displaced by the Dragonlords and their people.
The Shadow Master puts their hands on the table and stands up. Kind of considers the king as he goes, well, we need to bring the Oath of Peace into a new future. Renew it and find a way to, well, secure peace for all.
I am unsure this will work.
And as that awkward silence stretches for a moment, that's where we'll take a quick break. I'll see you guys in 5 to 10 minutes so we can run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
for murder.
And we're back. Hi, everybody. Alrighty. So before we left off, and I just wanted to double check that I didn't still have the other voice mod on. You got to meet the Master of Shadows, one of the leaders of the different monastic traditions within Aresia. Someone that Yanni, as a street urchin of Aresia, had heard about many a time before. And as this figure, imposingly, with a voice that seems to be ephemeral and kind of just coming from everywhere, and yet at the same time imposing and terrifying, learned that Aresia was to be given to Sidon. They stood up and seemed to say that the meeting was off. Though before that, they did offer to, well, help you find a way in. As we're picking it back up. Nope, going right back. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say before he leaves, Mista did want to say something. As he's leaving, Mista would just be like, "Listen, you came here for a reason, because you have a problem with Helen, obviously, and it's a problem you need assistance with, and obviously we are in a position to help you out, and I think that we can do that. And yes, well, we are giving Sidon Aresia, and that is like our gift to him. There is no guarantee, we have made no promise or anything that says that we are going to maintain the peace with him or anything. So that is between you and Sidon to kind of figure out that path forward. And, he has been much more agreeable to, more kind terms and more, hospitable living and everything. He just wants a place of his own that worships him and his alone, and not that of other ones, right? I do not believe Sidon is going to be directly ruling, right? He's not going to sit in a temple and deal with daily affairs because, he doesn't want that. So most likely Ares is still going to be yours to rule however you guys see fit, right? And then you just give tithes, to Sidon, and, you have Faye live there, etc., etc. Again, these are matters that you would have to, but the point I'm making is that right now you can't do anything with Helen, but you might be able to do something with Sidon in the future.
You were suggesting an insurrection.
No, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm suggesting that at a later date in time, you and your people, deal with Sidon however you wish. But it's, obviously you cannot do that with Helen currently.
I have heard stories, whisperings, that you intend to kill Sidon's wife. Is this true?
Wow. How did that make it to your ears?
Yeah, wow, okay.
You have good ears, man.
There is not much that is not known to me.
Surprised.
It must be the only thing not covered up,
I just wouldn't have thought anyone who knew about that would have blabbed about it. I give Chandras a meaningful look.
Do you think it's your book, Jan?
Don't look at me.
You talking to your book?
There is the matter of the stolen property you possess, Yanni.
What about it?
Well done.
Thank you.
That was to be your right of entrance. The offer would have been extended to you. You would have been a monk of the Way of the Shadow.
You could have been a cool mask guy, Yanni.
That's a different path. I never thought that would have been an option.
How do you think you came to know about the location of the book?
I didn't think it was through any intent. I thought it was just dumb luck.
There is no such thing. You make your own. as with everything.
Yeah, I think I understand that now. I've learned a lot in the last, gosh, how long's it been? 5 months? No, not even.
They sit back down, and as they do, again, their focus seems to be just directly upon Yanni.
There is something that you could do then. It appears that you
Looking at Brissa.
have been blessed by Sidon now. Is that true?
I don't really think so. I mean, he gave me a javelin, but I don't really consider that a blessing. Like, I mean, that's more like, hey, good job. Like,
I also look at Brissa. What the fuck?
That is a blessing.
then I guess yes, I have this javelin.
Do you see yourself still fighting against Sidon? Or have you started to bow before the Titan?
I don't see ourselves fighting against him. I think yes, he is a god, so yes, I would bow before Sidon.
Not all of us, though.
No, you, Lyra, would bow before the Fates.
It's like a symbiotic relationship. It's not really a bow kind of thing.
Fates indeed are outside of the arrangement, it seems. Divinity and gods.
Yeah, they're above all that.
And yet it is where you draw your power from, yes?
Though I've been told multiple times in the last 24 hours.
You seem perturbed. Why?
No, it's fine. Cool.
And Estrella, you are a priestess of the Fates.
Yes.
I wonder where your allegiances lie, Knight of Thylea. Yanni, whom do you pray to?
Most recently Vulcan, but that was to let him know what happened to Pithor.
You know the meaning of my words?
I don't, really.
You believe that a god should shepherd your soul, or influence your life during your life.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just not really something I've ever been partial to.
Would you slay the gods?
5? I don't know. They've all been pretty good to me. So probably not.
Titans?
Lutheria definitely. She's had it out for me since before I was born. And her particular brand of batshit crazy, there's only one solution for it, and that's put it down for good. Sidon, if he's willing to try and accommodate a peaceful coexistence, no, I don't see a need to. His kids, the ones I've met, the son, yeah, he's an ass. I got a hunch we're gonna have to take him out to get to his mom.
Probably the daughter too.
The daughter, I feel like she's got some shystiness about her, but I don't know. She hasn't swayed me completely one way or the other yet. The rest of the kids I don't really know anything about, other than a little bit we found written down somewhere. any remaining Titans that are, sibling Titans. I don't know. I mean, it just depends on the situation. If one of the 5 turns around and, well, assuming that they come back or are still here, if they turn around and cause enough trouble, I mean, I'd hate to, but, if that's the right solution, it is what it is. That was a long-winded way of saying maybe.
It will have to suffice then. What of the people who will not bow to Sidon?
He did agree to let them leave Arisia freely, and to, we agreed to take them in at Mitros, right? But if maybe like you don't want to go to Mitros, maybe we can talk about like building a different city somewhere else, right? I mean, nothing's off the table, but like maybe like temporary situation at Mitros, and then eventually you go somewhere else, type of thing. We find an
Any
island.
new location would have to not displace any of the native Fey folk.
Yeah. We'd have to figure it out, right?
Yeah, really the only thing off the table is them staying in Arisia if they don't worship Sidon.
Yeah. But he did agree 100% to let them leave with their lives as long as, and et cetera, et cetera. And he wouldn't attack them or anything like that. Or you could stay in your homes, Visa, and worship Sidon, and and he also said he's not going to do like crazy sacrifices like Lutheria or anything like that, right? I mean, to be honest, Mitros has been doing pretty well ever since he blessed Mitros with some of his nice rains and stuff like that.
We would need a gift.
From Sidon?
No. From you.
What gift?
If it's the javelin, she's not going to give it to you. She just got it.
But it is so cool. We would seek the godling that Helena and her bloodline kept as a source of power for so long.
Wait, so you guys want Narcissus?
If Sidon will rule de facto, then yes, we will seek to relocate Narcissus.
I thought we were already setting him free as part of the
Palladium
struck with you. As part of getting rid of the Palladium.
Let's call it a transfer in ownership.
What are you going to do with him? Build a new Palladium?
What will you do with peace with Sidon as he rules over your city, Yanni?
Well, I mean, we'd have to ask him. We've done a lot of shady stuff, but we're not really in the business of slavery still, so.
Discuss it then. We would want assurances, an oath, that Narcissus will be ours. If we help you, bring the siege upon Arisia to a quick, successful conclusion. Otherwise, bring your troops to Arisia and watch them die by the thousands.
I'm cool with that. It's just one problem is we can't talk to him without being there. I tried already, and I'm assuming this Palladium thing is the reason I couldn't. So,
Narcissus
unless you know a way...
has not had a free will. and centuries. Why does it matter now?
Will you treat him the same and make sure that he's basically in a paradise?
If that is a condition you would like to have, then we can arrange for such illusion.
If so, then I'm fine with it. He'd be out of harm's way, out of Sidon's reach, and he's already in a paradise mentally, right? I mean, it's nothing. I think, one life for the lives of thousands, as we were talking about earlier.
Well, now it's 2 lives, technically.
This makes it 2, and one of them is effectively immortal.
But he's already in that kind of state and has been there for a while, and it's not like he's really being hurt, it sounds like. It sounds like he's just kind of like looking up in a daydream, drugged. And
I don't like it.
Well, you have an option now. Discuss it. I would like to see an alliance between ourselves and you, for the sake of Aresia and Thylea as a whole. The control and inability to act that the gods have imposed upon all of us must come to an end. Freedom, maybe not politically, but of personal choice, will reign. One day, one way or another.
could you also add in maybe that you would free him within like 500 years' time or like 200 years' time, something along those lines?
We would have to consider this, but yes.
Then I'm more okay with it. We will send word on this.
So it shall be.
Suddenly, everything seems to kind of like flicker in the room as darkness seems to take over. And as you kind of look at that, the figure just disappears.
Counterspell. No, I'm just kidding.
My, oh my. That was incredibly exciting, huh?
That's one word for it. I mean, you realize I kind of just came face to face with one of the boogeymen of my childhood.
Yes.
But after dealing with Thylea, it really wasn't that bad.
How were
So
we
what do
feeling on
you
that
make
deal?
of this offer? I apologize.
We said the same thing. So.
Yeah, you guys said the same thing, so.
See, great minds are already thinking alike.
Don't push it.
Well, sorry, what did you say, Lara? I couldn't really hear you.
I said, what a crazy day this has been.
Yes, and it has just started.
At first, I mean, like from my perspective, at first I was against it, but he did say that he would be okay with, like releasing him after a certain amount of years, and he is a god, right? So he would be, effectively immortal. So overall, I think, if we say 250 years with them for, while they find a new home for themselves and establish their new home in a relative safety, right? With obviously they built a Palladium, and then they have a 250-year oath to release him, and then we save thousands of lives. I think that is worth it.
I think if they're willing to make an oath to release him in another 250 years, it's not ideal, but I can live with that.
I was hoping I could release my queen's brother, but I suppose without her guidance, not much is left to us. But to try to...
I'm just not going to be the one to tell Vulcan, because I'm sure he'd fly off the handle. But
Well, it is something that Vulcan can deal with.
Yeah. Well, Valis is wiser than all of us. I'm sure she'll understand. At least it's a means to an end, and he will eventually be safe and free. So.
Plus,
And,
it is not as if
you know-
Narsus has been around much anyway.
we can't make any oaths on behalf of the gods. So if
If they go and free him,
assuming everybody comes back that's currently not among the living, if Vulcan and Pithor want to go beat the crap out of whoever they need to set him free, I'm certainly not going to stop them.
it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Okay, am I the only one who's thinking here? First of all, another god. Okay. Beyond that, though, okay, there's Narsus. That's his name, yes?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So he has been locked up in Arisia this entire time? Did you feel a tingle, Yanni? Did you know this whole time? You just didn't tell us? Your city has
No,
its own
not a
very own
clue.
god?
I mean, I knew about the Palladium, at least in a broad sense, but no idea what powered it.
Well,
I had never heard of Narcissus until Valis told us about him. What was that, like 4 days ago?
I don't even know.
Maybe 5. I don't know.
Okay.
It was the last time we were
Time
here.
is
5 days ago.
time is a weird concept anyway.
Yeah.
How did they manage that? They took a god and have kept him under lock and key this entire time? That is quite a defeat, yes?
The Master of Shadows said that he believes he's in some kind of paradise, so it has to be some kind of uber powerful illusion and or enchantment magic.
Interesting.
I would wager it's probably more like than not an enchanted item, some kind of powerful artifact.
Fascinating. Well, be that as it may, please continue. I was just thinking out loud. Interesting things.
No,
Well, don't-
I was just
Don't mind me almost dying. It was just
Oh,
me
why are
adjusting
you
the
so
house.
hurt? What happened?
I guys, well, ladies, gotta get used to that.
I mean, I am. You can. Guys means everyone anyway, right?
I mean, that's how I've always
Am I
used it.
right? Yeah.
But and no offense, Your Highness, but I was aiming this more at my 3 cohorts here.
Oh, no, sure.
Yanni's hair.
If I'm right, and it's some kind of super powerful magic item, we might be able to use that on Lutheria. Or other titans as necessary.
I mean, it sounds like they're going to want to keep it, right? Like to keep on, keep it for 250 years.
Yeah. Damn it.
It's a wise thought, but yeah, but then we would also have to go to there first instead of Lutheria's first and everything. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's I think like overall.
Don't you think we're gonna? Fuck. Oh, we need clones. We need clones of ourselves.
Is that a
So
thing?
we can do things.
Is that possible?
Not really. Not like I mean, anyway.
We need to tackle one thing at a time, right? So, said our first thing is the Tower of Praxis, and then after that, we decide from there either Lutheria or Arisia. One thing at a time.
Could you imagine 2 Lyras?
Sometimes I have a hard time believing that the one is real. So I'm gonna go
That's
with
fair.
no on that one.
I could just be a figment of your imagination. Ooh.
So, are we in agreement? We will make the deal then, and Castus can send word.
What makes you think he's not just standing over there invisible listening to us right now?
That 100% could be a thing.
Oh, don't mind me.
Maybe we should just talk smack about him. Honestly,
No. He's got
I
ears
know.
everywhere, apparently.
his mask, tacky. Could have been better.
Okay.
I vote
I
for
don't
the
think he
deal.
cares.
Well, maybe we let's recap. He gets us into Aresia. We break the Palladium. We kill Queen Helen.
Not necessarily in that order.
Right. He gets Narcissus to theoretically move and make a new Palladium for them to create a new city or whatever they want to do. But then they free him after 250 years. What else? What do we get? What else do we get besides a way in?
That is it. It is the way in. It's either that or lose thousands of soldiers breaking upon their walls that regenerate, as Yanni was talking about.
I'm looking at it as
We get Aresia, and that means we get to continue with the Oath of Peace.
well, and we get Aresia in a way that saves probably thousands, maybe tens of thousands of lives.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is something extremely attractive, considering that Historia's support is now uncertain. With Peter's death, well, we've sent word but heard nothing back yet. I'm sure that Honora is dealing with many an issue and noble person at this point, but...
I'm sure Rhodus is whipping them all into shape.
We can go if you want. I know how to teleport there.
Would actually
Just for a couple of
appreciate this.
hours. We could just go for a couple of hours. You wouldn't have to leave the city unattended for very long.
I mean,
would
we
have to
wouldn't be
stay
here,
here.
so
You could maybe go as emissaries. Brisa representing Mitros. Of course, no binding agreements to be made. No oaths.
No,
Especially on behalf of the
oh
city.
well. Now that plan's off the table now. So
Do you know? Have you heard the stories about this one?
Yes, Velus has. She has let me know. Yes, we have to work on your political maneuvering a bit.
It's fair.
Yes,
Yeah, I
if you
mean,
could travel to Astoria, ensure that we're going to get the support of the troops from there, so that we have, well, more troops. Then that would help significantly. Without the Centurions, I don't know if, even with the help of normal walls, we would be able to breach Aresia.
I don't. It feels wrong to me to wage war to have peace.
Well,
Plain and simple. So if
That
there's
is-
a way, I know that's been
most wars.
that is the point of
no
war.
most wars are for power.
But power can keep the peace. This is where
They can,
many of the
but generally-
philosophers... I understand where you're coming from. You have studied these
Money and
things in
sex is
isolation.
what drives this world.
Well, sure. Legacy, too. But you see, when you have enough power, then you can ensure that peace is kept. I know that you philosophy types in your marbled halls at the academy tend to think that everything can exist perfectly peacefully at all times, but it is
Nope.
truly power.
I mean, maybe
that holds things.
Archimedes and his cohorts over there, but I've been out in the real world way longer than I've been in the halls of academia. So yeah, I would not agree with any statement that
Good.
we would ever be able to exist peacefully in all ways.
Brissa, you should consider keeping Yanni as a court advisor even in the future.
Yeah, that's something I could definitely do.
Maybe a voice of reason. You do seem to be very trusting.
Do I get a special like stick that I can smack her hand with when she goes to make oaths that she should? No. No.
I
Stop it!
think that
Stop
would
it!
be hilarious, though it would also simultaneously undermine her position at the court. So we can workshop it, huh?
Maybe I can come up with a spell that just makes her like see that in her head.
I believe I've been told
Cast
about
silence.
something where you can message directly into the minds of someone.
No. I want her to like experience the slap on the wrist, like even if it's
Phantasmal
just in her head.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Phantasmal Killer.
That's a little more brutal.
See how it
I
is.
did just learn mental prison.
Suddenly a six-fingered hand just reaches for your throat. Well,
Count Rugen? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Brissa, you have surrounded yourself with many wise people. Well done. Yes. So, itinerary planning, huh? Let's get this show on the road, as the bards say. Lots of things to do. You're still wanting to go to the place, below, and maybe a tower, and sounds like Astoria now, and I have statues to see. What is the plan?
You start go get statues. Castus tells him that we have a deal. We go to Astoria, make sure that we still have the support of the army, and then we're also going to go take a quick trip to the mines to make sure that Vulcan is kicking around, make sure that he's okay, and then we will head back down here, and then we will set off sail for the tower.
All right. Yeah, I like this. Yes, my princess. Yes, I like it.
I did have a question for you, Chandras, actually.
Oh, I'm important. Yes, tell me more.
So I know we already talked about how I had someone working on the other thing that I need already.
Oh, you're back to that? Oh, okay, sure. I'm following.
I do have Agalia looking for another item for me that I need.
Sure.
Just something etched with the outer planes that I can use for, some of my magics. And she's looking, but I really need it before we go to not the tower, the other place that we're going.
The region?
No, not that place
Or
either.
the down below.
Area.
The down below.
Okay.
So if you could also look for it, I would really appreciate it. If you can find it before she does, I'll pay you double what I'm paying her.
If you give me the money up front, I could probably see what I can do. I mean,
I got it.
You have to grease palms,
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Oh, you have to give
It means
enough
money makes the
to
world
right-
go round.
Yes, there he goes.
Well,
And sex. Like I said before, money and sex drive this whole
And
world.
power.
That's how it goes.
sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Got it.
What is rock and roll? A jinx.
It sounds
You
very
take a
interesting.
boulder and you push it down a hill.
I heard a story about a guy who was cursed to push one up a hill for eternity.
No,
but-
counterproductive. You want it to go down the hill. But yeah, sure. I'll reach into the bag of holding and
How much do you pull
give
out?
Chandras. I'll give him 1,000 gold, I guess, because that's how
Alrighty.
much I was gonna give Agalia. Was 500.
Damn, poor Agalia's just Minced meat, poor gal.
Shouldn't have taken so long.
Yeah. Be better at your job. Your one job in this entire city.
All right, I've got jobs to do and places to be, and a king, of course. Very nice to see you once more, Princess Light of Thylea. I shall report to whom about my status. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo,
cast
catch a
sendings, yes?
centaur by the toe. To whom? You?
You can cast ascending, yes? You have that
Yes,
ability?
that's what I'm. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't actually say it. I thought it in my head. I have a tendency to. Yes, there is the sending spell. It is a spell that is capable of transmitting a limited amount of words to one.
I know the spell.
Yeah, Yanni.
Oh.
I was making sure you knew the spell.
No. I
Not
know
e-
it.
not
Are you sure
everybody-
you know the spell? We both know the spell, right?
We're good.
We're good. Okay.
I just didn't know if it was part of your skill set or not.
No, of course it
That's
is
why I
part
was
of my
asking.
listen, Yanni, you might be at the academy, but
so-
I've learned many things outside of the academy that are far beyond anything that they could
I
imagine
learned
their
plenty outside of
wildest
the academy.
dreams.
Good
Okay. Got a
God.
Yes, it
little
may
taste of
be.
diarrhea of
Yes,
the
it
mouth
may be.
today. I understand.
Mm-hmm. Ugh.
My point is, you can. I mean, if you're like wanting to check in about,
Can I send my sending spell to you?
sure.
Fantastic.
Sure.
I will see everyone later. Goodbye. And he,
Feel free to send a sending to whoever needs to know if it's something particular. But
oh, no.
if it's just a
I prefer
general
you.
thing-
You can actually get the spell. You understand how it works. Goodbye. Poof. It's Chandra. Leaves.
What a tool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I never enjoyed having to work with him. And
I mean,
if I'm frank, I don't trust him. Never have.
I only trust him as far as the oaths he made to us.
Yeah, what exactly
allowed.
did he oath to?
he'll help us kill Lutheria if we don't give him to Lutheria. He also swore to help us with Gaius, which he already did, so I guess that part's done.
And he swore that he wouldn't bring us harm, I believe, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And-
us specifically, unfortunately, but
And we swore that we would protect him from
him.
Lutheria and her forces and Sidons, I believe.
Yeah, I think we did say something.
Yeah, I think since we were going to kill Gaius, I think
I mean, this was only like
him.
2 weeks ago, but my memory is just
Oh my god.
not what it used to be. Getting old. I'm almost 20. Leaving the teens behind. But
Maybe Yanni should finish his education at the academy before he becomes an official advisor after all. It does seem a little young.
I mean, we were all really old for a second.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Did that go
Just-
back to normal? I don't remember.
it
It was like
I heard
slowly,
somewhere.
right?
Yeah. Very well then. I will send word to the master once again, so that we can finalize agreements. See what you can do in Astoria, and then I suppose it is time to prepare yourselves for the meeting with Sidon. I will of course accompany you, yes. And do you think Rotus will speak on behalf of Astoria?
I don't know. He seems pretty intent on sticking
Being
around with his
done.
mom, keeping her safe right now.
We can ask Honora. She was at the summit too, I think.
Yep.
All right.
She was.
Very well.
I mean, that was just a week ago.
We should ask Honora. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, Rose a lot more likely to help
Left.
run Astoria while she's gone than to
Yeah.
want to come with us right now.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, Honora's technically the one running Astoria anyways, so. Rhodas is a general, but she's like the leader.
Effectively queen. She's the queen regent
Yeah.
for the time being, for sure.
Yeah. We're trying not to talk about the fact that everybody's dead right now.
Why not? No. Understood. Well, more and more opportunities opening up. We do live in an extremely testing but exciting time. The bards will sing of these meetings. Well, not the meetings, probably the fighting we will do in Arisia, but the historians will know. This is when we won the war, long before the first spear met a shield, before the first hoplon defended a heart against the piercing hatred of Arisia. This, right here, is where Mitros won.
So do you think he's still just like sitting in the corner invisible? I've been wondering ever since Yanni mentioned it.
He kind of looks around and kind of kicks his saddled foot at the general direction of one of the corners.
Just wave a sword around the room.
It seems fine. I don't like how easily they got into and out of this room, but... Anyways, well, it was nice chatting. I do have some other things I need to get to. Good luck in Arisia. Historia. Don't go to Arisia yet.
Wasn't planning on it.
We'll leave now before we talk.
No. We need to plan. Remember, historians, this is what we won long before we actually attacked. Anyways, God.
Before sword met shield. Yeah, I wrote it all down. I got it.
No, spear and shield. Spear
Oh,
and shield.
spear. Sorry. Scratch it out.
Goodbye.
All right. To Historia.
Alrighty. You guys can actually request at this point, as since you guys are here, especially on official palatial business. Yes, head to the academy. Scribe once again within the protected room within the academy as you teleport northward towards Arisia. There's fucking goddamn, I'm gonna keep that all night. Historia. Now.
Or one of those places that we're going to.
Yep. As you guys, where is this? There it is. Teleport in.
It's been so long. The butt rock.
Butt rock.
Let me,
It's a hard
I
rock,
forgot
okay?
about him.
let me cast the teleport so that it's
Okay.
mostly so it uses the what you call it.
I appreciate you.
The slot of spells.
Well, I'm less concerned about that than I am
the
the
material components.
Yeah.
Oh, count that back up. Like, that's what I was saying. The material components were given to you since you're on official business.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
that's
I missed
cool.
that. Boom. I mean, not really there. I was just trying to make it fit in the circle.
But anyway, as you guys teleport in, you seem to be in some kind of a basement cellar. You can tell that this place has kind of fallen into disrepair, and if anything, it's actually kind of storage. As you teleport in, it seems that some furniture that was there is pushed out, and suddenly there's just beer everywhere. Beer and wine, really, everywhere upon the ground. And as you kind of walk through, you realize, what the hell? The teleportation took out the sides of some of the casks here, and the wine just spilled out all over the ground.
Out Terminator.
Oh, what a terrible place to put a teleportation circle.
As you look around, and suddenly, kind of like in this dark cellar, you suddenly hear sandals upon rock as green-cloaked centurions and breastplate kind of go down. Halt! Who's there?
Hi.
Oh, hello. Light of Thylea. Most of us.
What? What are you doing in the basement of the
There's
palace?
Who
There's
put a teleportation circle in the
here,
basement of the
but
palace?
I got the.
What? There is a teleportation circle here? What did nobody
Yeah?
tell us this?
They've got the formula for it at the academy in Mitros.
Yeah, but
so
nobody has traveled this path for a long time, I suppose.
Hi, hello,
I mean-
we're the light of Thylea.
We
to
know
be
who
fair,
you are.
there aren't a whole lot of people who are good enough at magic to be able to pull this off anyway. So
Hmm.
Shade all the magic users in Thylea.
That sounds like a
You
humble
should
brag,
totally
but okay.
guard this, though.
I
Yes,
mean, I
we
didn't really want it
should.
to come off that way. I was more just logicking the whole why it doesn't get used much.
I mean, it was a little, none better than literally
I
anyone
tried
else
not
in
to
the
say. That's why I didn't
Thylea.
use the word powerful.
Clearly, this.
Well, now
Centurion
you
doesn't
said
know
the
how to
word
do it.
powerful, and
I
none
was
of us
careful. I was
not think
trying to
about
be
it.
careful about it.
Right. Anyways, I'm
I don't know
supposing
how to
you're
do it if
here.
it makes you feel any better.
Do you have word of the king? Has he returned yet?
Astus?
He means
Or
people.
your king?
Peter?
Oh, God.
Not the
Not
true
yet.
king! The king of the north! No, I'm just kidding.
Not yet. He is taking his time coming back. I'll tell you what.
Well, his people miss him. I will send word to the Queen Regent that you have arrived then.
Yeah, we're actually, at
Yeah,
least in
yeah,
part, here on. We're representing King Acastus to discuss something with her.
Understood. Send word to her. Run! No, go! The other centurion's like, ah! And starts running up the stairs as he goes, please follow me.
You got it.
You guys walk up and back into the familiar palace, where before it was usually kind of a drunken fest with a bunch of sycophants trying to just chat up Peter when he was in drunken stupor. There seems to be a much more engaged and aggressive energy to the area now, or to the air now. In fact, though it is relatively early in the morning still, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of people packed tightly into this place. Upon the throne, you can see Enora, as she seems to be engaged in a public debate with many of the noble people within Astoria, within this temple, palace. She goes, "No, I assure you, my father will return. But in the meantime, I do have the support of his other child." As she points towards Rotus, who is standing at her side.
One of his up.
Who, of course, is going to lead our forces in the assault against... What is this? What assault are you talking about? We have centaurs north of the walls ready to come into this place, to hack our children into pieces and eat them in their wildling ways. We have assurances from the Light of Thylea, whom Rotus is also here to represent, that this will not come to pass. And, as the scouts have reported, the Centaur forces have pulled back to the original agreed-upon lines. This is a showing of good faith that Sidon will not invade Astoria. So what are we going to assault then? You're still not giving us... And at this point, many of the crowd seem to have noticed that you guys have kind of come up as the room kind of gets quiet.
If I can get within 120 feet of her, I'm gonna drop a message. Queen Regent, we
Fails.
We
You can
may not get
immediately
to
tell
it.
that the magic just seems to get blocked by something.
look at me.
Well, that makes sense, honestly.
Queen Regent. Fuck, is this thing working?
I say
I
we
don't
just walk up
want
there.
to. I don't want to interrupt, but
I'll send a sending to Ro then. Or
A whole ass
message,
sending,
rather.
no, just kidding.
A message rather. Ro, don't let her announce the attack. We
Yanni,
might be
what are you? Oh,
we might be
yeah.
we're
He looks
working
up
on a
behind
way to get out
himself.
of that. We're working on a way to get out of that.
He whispers something in Enora's ear. She kind of looks confused at him and then at you guys all arriving. Part of our efforts have to do with the arrival of the Light of Thylea as we have planned. There is council that we are going to have, which means that I will have to adjourn our public to our... Like the crowd is just starting to kind of go nuts as she goes, "Quiet! Everyone! There are things more important than your egos. In the name of Historia, be brave, be patient. It is now the time of Peter's children to take the reins. My father will return, but in the meantime, we will ensure the flourishing of our city. She kind of motions at the Centurions as they kind of start to corral people out of the palace. As the last person leaves and it's now just servants and Centurions, she just slumps onto the throne, just completely spent and exhausted already. Fuck me.
My favorite part of that whole thing is that she was
Fuck
like,
me.
we were totally expecting the line of Thylea. This was all planned for them to show up, and we're walking out of a basement like covered in wine. And
no, we're not. I prestidigitated all of that off of us coming up out of there. You can't meet a queen with wine stains on your robes.
I appreciate that, Yanni.
Pethor, sure. You could totally walk up to him
It's
with
like
wine
bonus
stains all over
points. You get advantage on persuasion checks.
He'd probably just try to
Covered in
suck the
wine.
wine out of your clothing. But
Do you mind? Poor Peter. He did not deserve this.
Just to make sure, we still are going to do the assault. It's just that the assault's going to be much easier and less deadly. Right? That's
yeah.
if it comes to it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's
still.
gonna happen still, yeah.
Not
So
everyone
what
is just
word
gonna
do
be
you
like,
bring
yeah, we'll worship side on
from
leave."
Mitros?
Well, we
Yes.
met with someone from Aresia. And they're gonna help us with what's the word I'm looking for? Our acquisition of Aresia.
You can speak plainly. The palace guard knows.
But he's gonna get us in there without us having to like assault basically the front of Aresia. And hopefully we can lower
All
their
right,
defenses
I'll
a
step
bit.
in as the DM. The Shadowmaster also indicated that while the assault upon the city happens, they would be able to get you into the city so that you could essentially do like a two-prong attack.
Yeah, but it won't be as bad because hopefully we'll break the Palladium and it won't be a rebuilding city, right? That's the whole thing?
We would basically make it so that the defenses fail shortly after your assault, right? You guys will provide an initial distraction. We'll go in, we'll break the Palladium, kill Queen Helen, and then that will be it, right?
All of this happening after we've given Aresia the option to leave before, right?
I mean,
That's still on the table. We're not just gonna attack them.
we'll still give them the option to leave, yes, and then we'll be like, okay, no attack.
Wait, are you saying you have a way to disable the Palladium?
Yep.
This is fantastic news. You know, if anyone else told me this, I would laugh them out of this throne room, but you're you. Also, what in the Nether Sea is going on with him? I thought he's supposed to be with you. Once it Rhodas.
You didn't tell her why you're here?
Oh, I mean, yeah, what he says makes no damn sense. He wants to just be done now? It is not that I want to keep the city safe, and father is dead, and my mother needs a place she can stay and to be safe in, and I already told you, that is Historia. I know, I can do this. Okay? Malakas. Alright. Fine. That's good. I'm glad that you brought this, because frankly, without it, I'm pretty sure I would have lost the Council of Noblemen in the next few days. They have been pushing me hard on whether we are supposed to support a push of troops southward instead of northward, and Well, let's just say that has not been going very well in the first place. My father was not very diplomatic in his approach, counseling many of the noblemen to not support the endeavor, which made it even more difficult. And with his passing now, well, the people who were in favor of it lost their heart.
You know who's really good at persuading people to do things? This
Rodent.
lady right here.
Astray.
By
I'm
all
not
means,
sure.
I mean, the worst you could do is cement that nobody's going to do anything.
I mean, I can talk to them, absolutely, if you want me to. The issue is we were sent here by Acastus. We still will need some of your troops. Most of your
Of course. Yeah, we will have to figure that out. It's going to take a long time to get the troops moving that far, but
Move them hoops around the troops.
moving. That's how they stay in shape. That's how they get those six packs.
Hula hoops.
As long as we have assurances, I think that's all that we needed to bring back to Acastus. Is that we'll be joining the march, right? And soon enough, Sidon's forces will also leave.
What assurances do you have that you have a way around the Palladium?
It would be an oath.
Yeah, we're gonna oath it. It's another oath.
Okay.
I imagine. I just pictured.
Rodus. Disappointed.
Well, no, I pictured Lyra saying it's another oath, and then like as she says that, Briss is like, and I'm like,
And Rodus also disappointed.
Yeah. See, this is why I left them.
I mean,
can't fault you there, buddy.
Thank you. All right.
how's your oath fiance?
I had dinner with her last night. It's awkward. Didn't say much. She's hot though. But no. Jokes aside. I don't know if I'm ready for this marriage thing. Guess I don't have a chance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why did you guys let me do this? Oh.
You ran off
To
and
be fair, you did it on
all
your
by
own.
yourself.
Did it on your own.
No, you let me do it.
Whatever you got to tell
I'm-
yourself.
Taking zero responsibility for this.
No, wasn't my fault. You probably cast your magic on me. That's what happened.
Yep, absolutely. Could I make someone make an oath?
How do we? That's not how oaths work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that coercion, whether magical or otherwise, kind of would negate an oath.
I don't know. I think my magic is pretty specific about it only not working if they're going to hurt themselves.
It could be argued that making an oath
Would hurt themselves.
risks hurting yourself pretty highly.
Yeah.
Well, then you could argue that the spell never works.
Thank you for that argument, Tyler. Cracks knuckles in future rules debates. Okay. So what are you here for? You just an assurance? I can do the best I can talking to the noble people. Having an assurance of sorts that the Palladium is going to be broken, I guess we will have to announce to everyone where we're going and what we're doing specifically. Are we prepared for this?
I think we can do that. I think that's I said do it if you think it's fun to win over the nobles. Yes.
So we'll
Right.
give Varija
I
time to
can-
prepare.
Yes.
Yeah. I can help you talk to them about the centaurs too.
All right. I can ask the noble people back into the chamber if you would like to address them officially from Mitros.
Oh God! Already? Where? Do you have any wine or anything?
Felt kind of cathartic to get all of the wine out of the top level. I haven't gotten to the basement
That's
yet.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, I'll give you 10 minutes to think about it. Centurions, please bring everyone back in... let's make it 5. I want this day to be over with. Brodus goes up to you, Lyra, and says, "So, what are you gonna say?" Or are you going to make it up and get another god's head cut off?
Is this what we're gonna do now that you've completely given up everything? I don't know. Seems like you're the last person to get a god's head cut off.
No. Touche. Good luck. And he just pats you on the back and walks out.
He started it, okay? Don't look at me.
I think that was a little too soon there.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
All right.
All right, cool.
Do you know what you're going to say, though?
Nope.
After a long 5 minutes. After a long 5 minutes, the noble people are being brought back into the palace. And as they fill back in, people are, whispering to each other angrily and kind of looking towards you all. Lyra, as you kind of stand there next to the Queen Regent, she kind of looks towards you and nods. We just received assurances from Mitros as to why we should send the troops. It is my pleasure that I now can announce that we are going to lead an Arisian campaign.
What? This is ridiculous. Why would we? This is in this time
when we have centaurs upon our own doors. Everyone, please calm down. This is going to be a joint effort between Mitros and Astoria. Furthermore, the Light of Thylea is going to spearhead this endeavor. And the reason that we won't have to worry is that this is done in an effort to rewrite and assure the future continued existence of the Oath of Peace. More whispers, but definitely quieter now between the little clusters. The details, however, and something that is going to change our chances where Mitros has failed so many times before, has arrived this day. Please, meet the siren and the voice of the Light of Thylea. Give it up for... No, just kidding. Lyra. There's some golf claps. Like 5.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here.
Now it actually feels like there's suddenly a brick wall behind you. Like, oh man, that's been a long time since I've been hanging out here.
What's
tough
the
crowd.
deal with airplane proof? Oh god. Okay. Oh god. Okay. I will walk up to the front. The Light of Thylea has come to Astoria to assure you that our assault on Arisia is all in the name of continued peace of Thylea. We have made a deal with Sidon to protect you from the centaurs. They will not be an issue. And once we take Arisia, hopefully with the help of your troops, we can go about our business as usual and not have to worry about looming threats to the north, to the south, any direction. We, and I gestured to Yanni and Brissa and Estrella, will be at the forefront of this assault, making sure that everything goes in our favor with our full force. I will not lie and say that there is no danger, but it will be minimal and it will be worth it.
What do you mean it will be worth it? This sounds like we're going to win a war for Mitros. What is Historia getting out of this, eh?
Peace. Not having to live your life wondering what attack from Sidon comes next. Not worrying about the looming threat of a war with another country.
Wait! This old crone of a woman says, aren't you the one that got Kyra killed too? Are you responsible for the death of Peter?
I'm gonna kill that old lady. Yes. I was responsible for Kyra's death. Peter's temporary death.
She killed our king! She killed our king!
No. Lutheria killed your king, and she will be swiftly dealt with.
Then how were you involved, huh?
I technically wasn't.
Then tell us how our king died.
Well, Rhodus died in our fight with Hexia, a ancient green dragon. And Peter used his divine power to bring back his son, as any father would. I try and lock eyes with as many men in the crowd as I can see. And in that moment of vulnerability, Lutheria killed Peter.
Ha! Good. At least we traded the drunken buffoon with one that wields strength like a true king should. You can see Enora kind of wince at that. The mention of Rhodus being king as opposed to her being queen. This is preposterous. Peter is a god. Those two are godlings. You cannot.
Demigods is the word you're looking for. Demigods.
Whatever. So Historians are going to die. Meanwhile, we're leaving Astoria defenseless, ripe for the picking if Sidon should double-cross or otherwise try to fool us.
Well, he swore an oath. Sidon isn't foolish enough to think that he's above that.
Would you then be prepared, Light of Thylea, to swear an oath to come to the defense of Astoria should Sidon assault us?
Absolutely. This is Rhodus's home.
Will you make that oath now?
I look at Yanni.
With the understanding that the ability to get here quickly may be limited until the next morning, depending on how much magic I've used for the day.
Understood. You see,
Our resources are limited, and we have to use most of them for this war. So
who, old crone again, is going to rule Arija then, huh?
well, you have a ruler already.
No. This is Astoria, child.
Oh,
I was speaking
right,
of
right,
Arisha.
sorry. I got it mixed up. It's been happening all day.
Oh, whatever. No, those are so different.
Who would rule Arisha? Well, for the most part, the Fae.
The Fae? What do you mean, the Fae? And that is a moment, Lyra, when it really strikes you for the first time. How few Fae races are represented. Not just in this palace currently, but now thinking back, Astoria overall.
They are deserving of this land just as much as any of you.
Wait, is this just an attempt by you people, you sirens and nymphs, to what, get reparations?
Yeah, we put the Light of Thylea together, which is mostly, as you can see,
Fae folk.
Fae races,
Yeah.
specifically to undermine the five gods and take over the world for the Fae in reparation.
They got 3 gods killed already. They admitted to it. Get the pitchforks. There's like this.
You are. You need to leave. You have no business being here if this is how narrow-minded you are and if you can't detect sarcasm.
There's like this attendant who like pulls the crone back on. She's like, get off of me. You need your wine, your honeyed wine.
What are you gonna do to help in the war anyways? You're like 90.
We are trying
I'm
to
35. No, just kidding.
lay off the wine.
Good God.
I'm just leading by Peter's example.
And see where that got him? Anyway.
Ooh.
Killed by you. Oh. Anyway, she's gonna stop heckling for a second so you can actually say something.
We are trying to broker a lasting peace between not only these settler races and the Fae natives to Thylea, but also between the Titans and the gods. And what Sidon has demanded is Arisia becomes a home for the displaced Fae folk. We are working on ways to minimize casualties on both sides of any fighting that is required to make this happen. We have King Acastus has agreed that Mitros will take anyone from Arisia who wants to settle there. We are hoping that Astoria will do the same. And we are also entertaining the possibility of creating a new city somewhere as we can.
I for one say, you see this familiar man, older, middle-aged, extremely well-dressed, with jewelry shining upon his fingers and around his neck. The father of Kurna stepped forward. Let's Arisia be taken. Let those Minotaur lovers and atheists be scattered to the wind, and the memory of the gods lead them back to us. We shall accept all those who come from settler blood, like we have. Then let the Fae take over the ruins that remain of Arisia. If this will bring peace, so that we can rebuild once again, let us. The light has my vote. And you see that there's like a throng of people kind of behind him that you can clearly tell are kind of like his noble posse who are immediately like, yeah, and my vote, and my vote, and my vote. Can't you get this gate off of me? And some other
Get her
people kind of
outta
disagree.
here. Why is she still here?
As Honora says, with that, the votes, I believe, have it. Please tally them in the back of the palace. We will set out the details. The council will speak. But Astoria will march to war. As people are kind of like talking with each other, Honora kind of turns towards Yulara and goes, that was not bad. I was a little worried that in the very beginning, it seemed like you were very cold, very not limber, and just kind of like talking yourself into something. But then I think, I hate to say it, but I think that old woman helped. You did really well with that. Seems like that really fired up your juices. You should always have someone say something that you really hate right before you publicly speak. I think it could help you. It could be your motivating, factor.
She has no business being on your council.
Lyra?
None.
Oh, the woman.
Yes.
Tell me about it. She's been a thorn in our goddamn side for too long. But
Yeah, well,
hopefully...
I'm looking for someone to sacrifice if you need it.
excuse me?
What?
She's joking.
Anyways. Is there any word about Valos? Has she risen?
Nope,
No.
not yet.
Have you had any contact with Vulcan since this happened?
No. Well,
Or Kira?
I mean, he did come by after he dropped off my father at the temple in Mitros. He gave me a kiss on the cheek and he said he must go. He didn't say where or why. I was hoping that he had gone to Mitros to help you. I'm guessing he's not there.
No. And we're still
Well.
trying to figure out if Kira survived or if Thylea got her too.
Kira has not been seen in quite some time. I will send word out if anyone has seen her. This is
Is it
concerning.
just us and Honora in here?
No,
Or
the others
there-
are still there, but you guys are kind of like having a little bit of a private side conversation, but at the podium up front.
Mhm.
Anyways, I will do what I can. I believe you have ways to reach out to Rotus.
Yes.
We will keep you appraised.
I would say I could reach out to you as well, but I think you have things blocking that.
Yes, I do.
I don't suppose there's like a little token you could give me that lets me get through in case I need to get you a message.
Too dangerous. Otherwise, I apologize.
Understandable.
Thank you for
Also, you
understanding.
probably don't want to put more wine downstairs. You have a teleportation circle down there. I don't know if you know that.
Father! Would have been incredibly helpful. You know how many times I had to ride up and down that road? Malaka. Alright, well, what can we do for you? Have you eaten breakfast yet?
No.
God, did we eat breakfast? Jesus.
What about second breakfast?
I don't think he knows.
I mean, do we want to go to the mines and make sure that we have time, and then we could always teleport back?
Oh, yeah. A trip to the mines on an empty stomach sounds dreadful, though.
It's better we could eat for a bit.
As you guys are having the conversation, Corinna's father does come up towards you and goes, well, I for one think that you are doing a phenomenal job. This focus of war upon not the walls of Astoria but Arisia. A genius move. It will give us extra time to prepare. I understand that there are many things that need to be under wraps, and I can assure you that I'm incredibly well, discreet. But for the sake of Astoria and a man of Astoria, I must ask, what are we preparing for? Are we going to strike at Sidon once he's weakened and distracted, once he's rebuilding Arisia? Are we going to strike against the Tau? What do you mean, no? What is this show and dance then truly for?
Well, I mean, if all goes well, we won't have to fight Sidon at all.
And continue with this charade where he brings drought to my fields, starves the people of Astoria further?
No, that should be done.
Yeah, we're working towards, like I said, a lasting peace. All the way around. Mortals and immortals alike.
See, when I backed you at the Great Games, I was under the impression that you were an answer to this age-long conflict of our peoples. I thought you were a sign.
Do you not see this as an answer?
I see that.
Clearly not.
I was looking for an answer with a period. This seems to be an answer with a semicolon.
I think you mean an ellipsis. But anyway. Sometimes I like to say things just for Tyler's face. But anyway. We still very much intend to bring about a resolution with a period regarding Lutheria.
That is good to hear. Well,
but Sidon is
always going to be a threat.
You weren't. Ask your Queen Regent. She was at the what was the word we were using for it? Summit where we came to this agreement with him. It had a little bit of a rocky start, but he was open to it with a couple of conditions, most of which have been met already, and
Arisia being the big one.
The big one is this Arisia. I mean, but
I just simply
you should be glad he didn't ask for Astoria.
Yeah, the droughts and famines, those should already be dealt with.
Well, I apologize, but from my perspective, my king is dead. Mithras's queen is dead. And Sidon gets to wash his hands of this. As you say, Lutheria committed this.
Yeah, Sidon didn't do it. So.
Convenient.
She was seen by us in the case of Pitor.
I believe you. I have no reason to doubt. What I am questioning is the motives, the coordination between the twin gods.
The motive is Lutheria is psychotic, and she's been reprimanded for it and will be dealt with.
Well, Sidon is not. Sidon is a tactician, where she is chaos. Sidon is patient, where she is tempest.
Sidon has created weapons specifically to destroy Lutheria should the need arise.
Sidon is wise enough to realize that him getting what he's got is probably the best deal, and he wouldn't throw that away just to kill your crops and your ox.
I see that my wisdom and counsel is not appreciated, so I will cease to give it. But I just want you to consider, going forward, that this is just a very, very large game of 10 tiles for the gods. And the Titans, well, I have always considered them to be very good players at that game. In any case.
Look, if it makes you feel better, if this turns out to be any kind of betrayal, we'll go after it.
Yeah, we'll handle it.
but
And if it does, there are powers greater than us and greater than him that will also handle it. There are oaths in place here. Titans have to follow those too.
and
Understood.
Lutheria just broke the oath of peace by killing at least 2 of the gods.
My point. But as I said,
But
I'm not here to
By all of
argue
our,
this point.
by everything we've been able to determine, she is in the hands of the Furies now.
Yeah, she didn't get out of it scot-free.
And I think if Sidon was going to sacrifice kith and kin as part of his tactics, it would not have been Lutheria. It probably would have been his son Thylea, because he doesn't seem to like him very much.
Because he's a douchebag.
And he almost certainly, Thylea almost certainly would have accepted an order to go and kill any of the gods.
Yeah, I have no doubts that they'd throw away one of their children for it.
Our reasoning is not without logic. It's not without the wisdom of experience of others than just ourselves.
I wholeheartedly believe you, which is why I have voted for your proposition. I am heartened to hear that you're willing to swear the oath before you leave. This will put many minds at ease and assure you the troops that you need and the coin that will be necessary to fund such an effort. I know that you have brought good fortune for me and my family. I hope that we can continue to support each other in this way. My queen, Light of Thylea, good day.
Good day.
After he left, Nora just goes, oh, sorry. This is a game I've had to play since I was a child.
I don't know how you deal with it day in, day out. It gives me a headache. This is the second similar conversation I've had to have today.
Yeah, I have to have 100 of
friggin'
these
done.
every day.
I'm done. Like, I
Alright.
don't want to have another one of these conversations for at least a month. I don't know
Alright.
how you do it.
Why don't you go do what heroes do, and I'll handle the talking to people then.
Eat breakfast.
Yes, eat breakfast, then have the oath, and then good luck with your next endeavor. And as you guys sit down, start eating the fruits, are served wonderfully sweet breakfast wine, that's where we leave it for this week's session. As next week, a lot more places to hit up. Everything from the mines to back to Mitros, maybe to ultimately the Tower of Sidon. In fact, you guys might even have some time to travel to your guys' spot, the volcano, potentially.
I don't know if we're going to do that right now.
You might be able to squeeze that in. Sorry, I just looked at the timeline. I'm like, technically, unless you guys want to just like sit around for days, you could do that.
That would be after Sidon, though, right? I mean, we don't have enough
No,
time
I'm
for
saying
some-
Yeah.
you guys could do that before Sidon. That's what I'm saying, looking at the timeline. Anyway,
I
I'm
thought
looking
we-
for another
Well, we've
stream
got-
to raid,
We've
but
got 4 days. It takes us 3 to get anywhere.
Yeah, so we could totally could not squeeze that in.
no, I mean you could arrive there, but you just couldn't come back. You could send the ship back once again.
I'm so confused.
Anyway,
Well, no,
we'll talk
'cause
about it off
we
stream.
we still have to go to 2 different places. That's 6 days in total, David. We have 4.
Okay. Everyone, thank you guys so much for watching. We are looking for another person that we can, add to this. Actually, 2 spots. So if you'd be interested in it, if you scroll back, and I'll just link that again just in case, we would love to have a wonderful 5th and 6th person join us on the stream as well, because it's just fun. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be on again next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Mountain, meaning 9 p.m. Eastern time. See you guys then.
Bye.